Grapsody with Will, Phil, and Reg, trying to keep it real instead of what you usually get from these talking heads. It's Grapsody, we're here to fill the void. 3 black fans, different perspective, got to fill your voice. Coming with the podcast, talking majors, indies in between, yeah, it's all that. And we're down with Fightful, better fall back. Coming for respect, we connect like a ball bat. No need to double check, these are all facts. You're listening to us talk raps. You're listening to us talk raps. Will, Phil, and Reg. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps.
Welcome. It's I. See, this is Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsey. Of course, I'm here with Righteous Reg. What's going on?
It's your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, your favorite podcaster. It's Saturday morning. Grapsody is back city. I don't know. It's been a crazy, weird week here, Philip Lindsey, but I'm excited to be here. What's up with you?
Trying to make sure we have a link on our account.
Oh, yeah.
I'm here.
Links.
Yeah, it's been a lot going on.
What's up with these links all the time, StreamYard? We're just trying to get our people to the show, you guys. That's it. That's all. It seems pretty easy. Shout out to all the Grapsody faithful for being here with us. It's June. It's not hot outside in Oakland, California, at least. And summer's about to get kicked off. Feels like there's some energy in the air. Phil, you feel that?
Not really. What is it?
No energy's being felt on that side, huh?
Nah, what is it?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to discover moving on through this. I'm like, that feels like there's some good energy in there for me at least. And I hope that this train continues well into June 2025 and beyond. So yeah, feeling it. Did you get our link up?
Yeah, it should be up. Had to just quote tweet from somewhere else. But yeah, appreciate you guys as always. Appreciate you, Mako. Hats are still available.
Yes.
Grapsody.bigcartel.com.
Double Grapsody hat, baby. It's pretty hard for me to take this hat off, so definitely copy guys one. Very comfy hat. You can wear it with all of your outfits. You can wear it to a baseball game if you need. If you got a softball game going on, this could be the hat for that. I don't know, Phil.
Yeah. Seeing other mutual friends at a baseball game in LA. I was like,
right.
I was like, oh, that's right. There's a pay-per-view in LA. I forgot.
That's what I was thinking because I was on the show with Denise and she was like, oh, yeah, Alex is flying out and we're going to go to the Dodgers game. I was like, Alex is going to fly out to LA. And I was like, oh, yeah, there's a bunch of WWE wrestling shows going on this weekend. And I was just thinking coming onto the pod, what time does the Worlds Collide show start? Is that going to they kind of programming us?
I actually don't know what time that starts, sir.
Because it has to start pretty early here. I was saying because the Money in the Bank show starts at 4 p.m. Pacific. Kind of crazy. WWE is
2 p.m.
2 p.m. Okay. So pretty soon here.
2 p.m. my time, 3 p.m. Eastern time.
That's what's up. Should be a pretty dope show. They got a pretty good lineup there. I'm excited and intrigued to see what they kind of put together there with those luchadors.
Yeah, they started announcing some of the matches, but yeah, I don't know what's all on this card.
Right.
I guess that's kind of a funny way to figure out what's on this card. Let's find out.
Good way to start. There were some people. Meltzer was complaining because Lola Vice, I guess, is on the thing on the flyer, and she's Cuban, and
Cuban B.
I was like, but Javon Evans is on there too. Meltzer would he black. He's very black. I don't know what
problem.
I don't know what the beef was. It's like it's Worlds Collide, I think, Dave, not just I guess but it's built as like Lucha versus AAA versus WWE though, right?
Yeah. I don't think they're like, oh, since Lola because she's Mexican. I think it's like
right.
Send Lola because she's on NXT.
Get all the Mexican girls you got in here. Now, I don't think that's how it worked. They were she's one of the young up and comers on NXT, so they felt like she should be on there. I haven't seen too much of her work because I don't watch too much NXT. I don't know how she's going to be doing out there, but should be something.
Yeah, I have the card in front of me as we speak. WWE Worlds Collide will be taking place at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 p.m. Pacific Time. There's a 5-match card. We're still going with that standard. Legado del Fantasma will be taking on El Hido, Dr. Wagner Jr., Pagano, and Psycho Clown.
Okay.
Sounds like some heat. Those 6 guys are great. Should be a great 6-man tag match. Then Vikingo will be taking on Chad Gable for the
Triple
Mega Championship. That's the one match that I did know about because they hyped it up on SmackDown. They did hype up the 6-man match as well on SmackDown.
But Vikingo has been like in the crowd doing the "I'm out here," the celebrity sighting guy thing. So they've been pumping him up like he's somebody.
Yeah, after they spoiled their own match, and then Vikingo was like, "Yeah, I'm champion now." I was like,
dude, the Mexicans were mad. Yeah. Denise was telling me about that side and how like they're viewing these things, and they think they've being set up essentially with like the Del Rio came out like as like a savior to some of them because they were like, he's getting screwed, and I was like, whoa, this is crazy.
Del Rio got fans now? Okay.
Yeah, man. I was like, wait, what's happening?
No, they was chasing the car, throwing the bottles like in Selena. Put a championship
on that guy.
Put the championship on Vikingo, this flippy guy.
Well, people are pretty pumped about this match, though, Phil, at the very least, you know?
Yeah. We also got a Fatal 4-Way for the NXT North American Championship. Ethan Page will be taking on Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, and Ray Phoenix. That's another one. Sounds like some heat.
Okay. Damn. Laredo Kid always comes with some fire. And then, Phoenix. This should be fire. My guy, Ethan Page, is kind of the odd man out in this. I haven't seen him in too many barn burners where he's flipping and spinning, but they need somebody to base, though.
I feel like they need a guy like him in the match that is like a traditional American heel.
Right.
I think he fits the same kind of role that Chad Gable fits in other match.
Mm-hmm. I see it now because you can't have 4. I mean, you can have 4 flippy guys, but you need one guy to kind of balance it out.
Yeah, well, technically Canadian, but typical American heel. Stephanie Becker will be taking on Lola Vice, Cheek Tormento, and Dallas. That sounds great. I mean, Dallas. I think I pronounced that right.
Okay, that's some fire too. Another 4-way match. I think a lot of these women have some. I mean, Stephanie Becker is gonna light everybody on fire in this, so that should be pretty heat.
Yeah. Also have LWO, the team of Dragon Lee, Cruz del Toro, and Lindsey Dorado taking on Octagon Jr., Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana. So far, this match, this is 5 matches. All of them sound good.
This is sound a little bit better than the show we're going to talk about here. That's soon to follow that. I'm like, wait a second. This is kind of some heat. That last match is going to be all kind of flips. Yeah, I guess Joaquin Wilde was injured on Raw or something this week. He was supposed to be in that match too, but they replaced him with Lindsey Dorado. And that should be pretty crazy. That sounds like a lot of right up my alley on some lucha shit. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, sounds like a cool show. As we said, will take place at 2 p.m. Central Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Is at 12 p.m. Pacific.
It's free too, ain't it?
Yep, it's on YouTube.
Wow, damn, free show. Look at that. That's crazy. I better watch that.
Yeah. Other than that, the timeline was ablaze yesterday because I got on really early in the morning, and I was like, "What are you guys talking about?" And everybody was talking about this Wayne album, and I don't think I've ever seen Twitter united in saying something is bad in a while. I saw some people trying to fight it and say like this feels forced. You guys are going too hard. The album's not that bad, but for the most part, people were saying that this album is terrible. The quotes that I saw from this album were were pretty bad. The clips I saw were even worse. The clips from that Elephants and Peanuts song is like, what is this, bro? Like I turned it on at like, it had to be like 5 a.m. I turned it on and I was like, what the fuck is this, bro?
Yeah, when I got on, everybody was just slandering that song at first. I was like, what is it? Like, what's going on with this Peanuts to Elephants thing? People are like, Crash Bandicoot music, Super Nintendo music, PlayStation music, and all this. People were just going in on it. And then they were like, oh, the guy from Hamilton produced it. And I was like, hold on.
Lin-Manuel, man. Might need to go back to the drawing board with that one.
Lin-Manuel produced the beat too. So before I had even got to the song, I was already like, this gotta be crazy. So then I listened to it and I was like, hold on a minute. And then I saw the video. They started putting the clips like over Crash Bandicoot and like over Scooby-Doo and all these weird things. I'm like, yo, this is crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, Phil, we've seen moments where Twitter unites to go at something, to dunk on something, but never for like a legendary figure that we all love. Like everybody that was shitting on him yesterday all love him. Like everybody was like, we don't want this. A lot of people are like, this is my GOAT.
I mean,
we love Wayne. Why is this happening?
Do they all love him? Because I saw a lot of people that were reveling in this and like, yes, keep slandering this dude. Of course, the video from his concert kept popping up on the timeline. Like I saw someone say,
your fault.
I saw someone saying, "Oh, y'all are slandering Wayne," and then they put the clip out afterwards. Don't stop. So yeah, no, some people are enjoying this. For some reason, people are making this a Wayne versus Kendrick thing, which I don't really get that part of it. Wow. If it's just still the halftime show thing, guys, there's no point to make anymore. No. Like it's the same thing when I see people are like, "Oh, people still think Drake won the battle." Dog, who cares? We all know collectively that he lost. Yeah, just like we all at this point have accepted that he wasn't going to get that halftime show. Mm-hmm. It's over.
Yeah, it's done.
We got the halftime show. That was February. The show was great. Move on. Why are we still talking about that?
Yeah, before the album had even dropped, the weakest hip-hop commentator in the world was trying to stir up some controversy, being like, there's going to be some disses on this. Drake is supposed to be on this. Drake wasn't even on the album. It's like, why are we, Drake, can't we just like have the music?
Drake heard some of the snippets from that album and he was like,
you know what?
Leave me off this one, dog. I got enough allegations on my name.
Listen, there's a lot going on, Wayne. Like I've been dealing with a lot. Like there's allegations on my name. I don't know if I could do it for you right now.
Yeah.
You're Peanuts to Elephants, and he was like, you know what? What you gonna be doing next? I mean, like, hit me up in a year. Like, let's regroup. Let's recoup.
Yeah. Well, listen, man. Put me on the deluxe edition of it. Man. Get off. Let me get over here.
But it spawned a lot of conversations, Phil, because like he calls it the Carter 6, and I think that's where we start off. That's where we're already in trouble. Like you're setting an expectation. Even though the expectations for this series is it's not where it once was, but you're setting an expectation that we're going to hear something. And people, if you're not giving us Carter style quality, then that's what this is going to be.
Yeah. It's tough whenever you do that. I mean, we've seen Eminem do that. We've seen other rappers go back to some of these like famous titles and
Doggy Style 2 and Marshall Mathers LP 2 and blah,
there's blah, blah. A Doggy Style 2.
There's a Doggy Style 2. Yeah, look, see?
I don't want to. I can't.
There's a Doggy Style 2, Phil.
I'm not listening to that.
See?
You're not going to top one of the greatest hip-hop albums of all time. You can't. No.
And it was like, it came out like 3 years, like in the 2020s. And it's like, you're coming back 30 years later to try to get us. No, you can't. I don't believe. We already got Doggy Style.
No. So yeah, a lot of times this doesn't work when people try to do the series of albums. Of course, he has parallels to Hove. Hove has done the Blueprint series. The Blueprint series, I feel like there's one miss in there, but I feel like the miss in there is mostly because there's just too much music on it. That's Blueprint 2. Blueprint 2 is probably the worst out of all of them because it's just too much music. There's too much filler on there, but it's not a terrible album.
If he would have just got all the heat into one album, it would have been fire.
Yeah, but you know, that's the thing. Once you start getting up to 6 with this, if he got up to Blueprint 6, there's more chances of us getting a bad album out of 6
Definitely.
albums. But yeah, as somebody that thinks that this thing kind of peaked at 3, you didn't really need to make any more. Personally, I think the Carter 2 is the best one, and 3 is 3 because it pushed him into a different stratosphere. It's the thing that made him into a superstar. But we didn't need 4.
We didn't need 4.
We didn't need 4. We didn't need 5. I know 5 got
people like 5.
5 got the 1, 2, 3. How that one go? That's on 5, right?
That's 5. That one had a couple of records on it.
Yeah,
but then that probably should have. He probably should at the end. You should probably stop there because 6. Just call it something else, Phil. Like I understand what's going on, and there's like the album covers and the connection. There was that AI video of connecting all the Carters, and it's like I get it, but like,
which I mean, even that is a Hove already did it, and Hove did it with actual
way better, just with humans.
He just did it all in with like the takes, and he didn't use AI. We don't need AI. But yeah, first of all, I have no interest in listening to a Wayne album like that in 2025.
That's it. That's all. Let's start there.
And then when I've seen
you guys forced me to listen, it wasn't gonna be first in my priority. I only pulled it up because everybody was like, "This is terrible."
Yeah, I had no interest. And then, like once I saw some of those snippets, I was like, "Oh no, I won't be putting that on. No thanks."
No, you guys could maybe keep it. It's there's so many crazy memes that come off of this, but like at the end of it, the production was just out of the ordinary of what I would have done with Lil Wayne. He can still rap, we all know that, but like sometimes it's like, what is he talking about?
Well, though, because the production on this Elephants and Peanuts joint, when I heard it, I was like, okay, this is crazy. And then when I was listening to it, I was like, what are these?
What is he talking about?
What are these bars though? Like, wait a minute. Like the beat in itself. Let's put a tack in that and put that over here. What is this? What are you doing?
Okay, the beats to the side, and now we're in the lyrics. No, it's just I saw the homie Ice from Joe Budden podcast talking. They were talking about it and talking about Lil Wayne. And he was just like, he can rap, but he doesn't he don't do song structure. He don't have a point. He just like gets on the beat and just starts going. It's like, but where are you going, dog?
Yeah. Some of these features he's done in the last few years, great. Tyler has gotten some of the best Wayne features ever.
Yes.
Westside Gunn has gotten a great feature out of him. He's done great features. So I agree that he can still rap, but like maybe get like an executive producer in there that has like a vision for the album.
One of those guys that you just said, Tyler or Westside Gunn, get them in there and say, here, help me do this.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out for Nas on the last few albums. He went and got Hit Boy. Hit Boy came in with an idea and get a producer. You make way too much money. You have way too large of a reputation. Somebody wants to come and link with you and make this masterpiece of an album. We ain't got to do this no more. It's cool. We got the mixtapes. We got them. It's all right.
I saw a bunch of dope producers online yesterday being like, Wayne, holler at me. I got you. Like the best producers in the world were like, we can do this. What's going on here? So like some lines got crossed. Maybe management at this point for Wayne is on something weird, but like, get back to it. And I was saying that like people were mad and I'm like, this doesn't hurt his legacy, because if he came out today and was like, I'm back with Manny Fresh, like everybody would forget about it.
For sure. There are a lot of things to think about with this. Of course, that Push a Line resurfaced from infrared, the Flash Without the Fire, see a dude out here still making music and won't retire.
Eesh.
It's aged very well.
After we just celebrated that Clips record, and what in the Clips record ain't gonna be this,
No. We also got that news about Clips buying themselves out of their Def Jam deal, because UMG was trying to force them to take the Kendrick verse off of their album. And when I read just that part, I still need to read all of the fine details of it, but just that part, I was like, oh, that's why Drake was mad, huh? Drake was like, Oh, y'all did this for me before. What do y'all mean? Y'all can't stop this song. Y'all just gonna let it put this song out?
And Push, I was reading, Push said UMG hadn't even heard Kendrick's verse. They were just like, take it off. They didn't even know what he was saying. And Push was saying he's not talking about that guy. And they were just like, nope, take it off. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, and he's talked about them forcing him to take a verse off of another song, or he had a verse on something where it seemed like he was talking about Drake, had to take that off a song. So where are we at in the world when for a lot of us that grew up listening to hip hop, Def Jam was it. That was the place to go for hip hop artists, and you're having to buy your way out of your deal with Def Jam so you can put the music out that you want to put out and say what you want to say. That is a crazy, crazy turn of events.
That doesn't even sound right. Feel like Malice and Push probably like grew up being like, that'd be amazing to be a part of Def Jam. Like Def Jam is hip hop royalty. Like the brand, the lifestyle was established with Def Jam. And for them, the ones to be like, actually, we can't that's a little too hip hop for us. Maybe take that off is crazy.
Wow, bro. Like, nah, don't have the biggest rap artist in the world right now on your album is also crazy. Like
what kind of management is this? Like, you don't want these streams or whatever is going to come with Kendrick. You're telling me to take it off the album?
This guy has this huge world tour going on, just did the Super Bowl, is having like probably one of the best years of his career, just won 4 Grammys. Don't put him on your album, though.
What? What? They probably looked at him crazy. So yeah, they said that they had to buy themselves out of the contract, and there's some other fine print.
7 figures.
They're getting Def Jam's getting some points on the back end too off the album.
Yeah, well, they weren't just gonna let them go without getting anything. But bro, paying 7 figures to get out of your deal and still having to pay them in points off of that album. Q-Tip was right, man. Record labels are shady, though.
Dog, doesn't matter which one. It could be the greatest of all time to the bottom of the bottom, and they're still gonna give up that. We're doomed to feel that. On top of that, the news that they announced with Timbaland about his new AI, I'm like, you know what? Maybe we just throw it all away.
Boo, tomato, Timbaland. You know better than this. You're a guy that, like, when I think of Timbaland and what he brought with unique sound, and AI cannot do what Timbaland does. Like, this is a guy that used to beatbox into the microphone and use his own beatboxing and his own unique sounds in his production. AI can't copy that.
Can't do that, dog.
And you're gonna go and you have an AI pop artist? What are we doing? Like,
and Timbaland's being shady. He like ran a contest a couple of months ago for a bunch of artists to try to sign them, and then months later being like, actually, I'm not going to sign any of you guys. I'm going to sign an AI artist. It's crazy. And so those artists are all like, did you use our music to train your AI? Like, what happened here?
I didn't know that part. That sounds wow.
Like, he ran like a TikTok contest, like, where people were submitting music to him. So like he was there's like he's using all our music to train. Yes.
Damn, man. We got
this is the guy that said he never got to work with Biggie. He wants to do a Biggie AI album. I'm like, maybe just cut all Timbaland stuff off.
No, maybe not. It's cool. I do not want no AI Biggie album, dog. Keep it.
0%. I didn't even want them post hummus albums that we got. Like, you about to manipulate him into some bullshit? No, dog.
You want fucking with Biggie duets?
No, the Biggie duets, absolutely not.
You want fucking with Jazzy Faye jumping on that Biggie duets?
I was offended.
Fiddle.
I'm like, wait, Jazzy Faye is doing the intro on a Biggie song. I don't know if we all agreed to this.
Man. Hey, damn, you might have to roll some of that back now. You got Diddy on there. Girl, like a little nasty girl. Yeah, we might have to pull that one back in. We might have to reel that one back in. I don't know.
It was a bad mistake initially, and it's an even worse mistake now. It's like,
oh no.
Y'all have Biggie had himself as some crazy lyrics, but like, I don't know if See, just the post, like I don't know if he would have agreed to that. This is crazy.
Yeah.
So Timbaland, chill, bro. What's going on here?
Yeah, I saw someone explain what's considered the worst Biggie line, probably one of the worst hip hop lines of all time. And I never knew all this time. It's a Richard Pryor reference.
Oh, the daddy.
Yeah, it's a Richard Pryor reference.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
It still is a bad line, but
it's awful, but that changes a lot, I think.
It does. When you hear the joke, it makes sense.
Right. Like Biggie's telling a joke. Like people are like, Biggie's the girl. I'm like, what? In context, it's still not that great of a line. Like the
it still sounds crazy.
Lil Wayne fuck him like a wrestler Brock Lesnar. It's like that's not really like, let's break it down, Phil. Like if we're just talking about fucking him like a wrestler, that's not how wrestling works. They're not fucking each other in the ring. And then if you put it in context of what Brock Lesnar was doing in this Vince stuff, a god awful line, you know?
Yeah, that Brock Lesnar line, when that popped up, I was like, not only is it a bad line, but then with the context of it, and then I thought, well, maybe what line came before it? And then I saw the line that came before it. I was like, oh, it's even worse.
You was giving them the benefit of the doubt.
I was like, it's even worse. It's terrible.
Phil was like, no, let me hear him out though.
No, somebody posted like the bar before it, and I was like, this is horrible. or what was it? The eyes tight like my name is Wong Ding Ding Dong. I'm like, yo, what is he on this album, dog? What is this?
On, dog? The engineer, everybody was like, yeah. Like nobody was like, hey man, Wong Ding Ding Dong. That is not. You can't do that.
Yeah, nah. I feel like after I heard that, I was like, I feel like I could write a Wayne verse, man. I feel like I can give him some of those them similes that he was dropping. Some of them similes is trash, bro.
Damn, I think you just fucked me up because I'm like, damn, maybe Wayne's getting AI Wayne verses.
Yo,
maybe he's just like, hey, let me Wayne generate. He's like, what if I said this and the AI's like, say that Wong Ding Ding Dong. This is something you would say.
Fucking horrible, bro. Horrible.
They got to get him some friends though. That's where I landed, Phil. I'm like, he just needs some friends. Sound like he ain't got no friends. Because if he came in the whip with a car full of homies, they'd be like, turn this shit off. You know?
Somebody should have came in and listened to that record and was like,
you sure?
Nah. Over this beat? That's a fun beat.
It's a fun beat. Phil, we lived in the days they were saying this guy was better than Hove. Like he took the crown. And I was like, I never believed it for 1 second. But that was funny. I'm like, just because you do the don't write it down thing that's not how this works.
Nah. No, you can't just put anybody next to Hove, man. I'm sorry.
No.
You can't. I know the South wants to put their guy up there. There are other guys from the South that would put in that category, but not him. No.
Because T.I. be saying the same thing. He's like, put me next to Hove. And I'm like,
do we have I don't know if this is a hot take. I think T.I. has moments where I feel like he's a little better than Wayne. And I think, like, in terms of catalog, well, let me put it this way.
How do I take? Not to me. I'm like, he's kind of spitting.
Well, let me rephrase that.
Yes.
I think he has a better catalog than Wayne.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
It might not be that he's better than him. I think that he has a better catalog than Wayne. And
I think like I'll pick his biggest records over Wayne's biggest records. I don't know if that's a hot take, but like
I don't know, dog. Like
what you know is like
that. I don't know about that. You taking his biggest records over a Millie, as big as a Millie was, you're taking that over Lollipop. Lollipop was gigantic, bro.
A Millie, I think a Millie and 6 foot, 7 foot is like where I would take Wayne. But like might have seen me in the street, niggas. You don't know me. Like
Lollipop was bigger than those records, dog. And I don't like Lollipop, but
I think the only ones that he could compete would be like the Justin Timberlake record. What's that Justin Timberlake record? The T.I. one. That's like the only like gigantic one he has, right?
He's got big records, but
He got some. But yeah, no, I hear you though.
I think his music is better personally, but like we're talking about like smash hits, bro. Lollipop was out
yeah. Smash Lollipop was like turn this song off territory. Like I was like, all right, you guys, like I've had enough.
Bro, the other one, got money and you know it, bro. Nah, dog. Some of them records off of Carter 3, he was out of there.
The Khaled ones, he has a couple of those Khaled ones that are like white people
taking over.
Are like, this is this is the greatest thing I ever heard. So
he got some big ones. That's why I'm like, I don't know if I would say I take his big records, but personally, his catalog, his music, I would take his music over Wayne's.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm with you.
But
no disrespect to Wayne, you guys. None of this is about Wayne disrespect. He's a GOAT.
No, Wayne his legacy is still his legacy. I just think at this point, everybody gets later in their career where it's like, yeah, he probably could have kept some of those. It's cool.
And it might have been too many on the album too. Like you don't need however many there was on there. You could have gave us 10.
Yeah. Now I'm just thinking about everything that's on Carter 3. Like, nah, I don't know, man. That's why I'm like his big records, like, man, I don't know, dog. I was saying in our group chat, Comfortable is still probably one of my favorite Wayne records that Kanye beat over that. And he didn't even put that out as a single. It just came out at the tail end of the Miss Officer video.
I kind of fucks with the Carter 1 myself because like I was playing that, we were partying hard and that was the soundtrack. And like when I think I'm like, damn, the Carter 1, I was drunk, brother.
I personally like the Manny beats on Carter 1. I prefer, and like I said, I think Carter 2 is the best of them.
Carter 2 is probably like this is like the greatest he ever was. You know what I mean? Like. That's when he was like at his peak, the best he's ever like. This is like Wayne at his peak, you know?
Yeah, I think some people would say it's 3. It's him at his peak because in terms of like commercial success,
for that I agree.
Yeah, it's probably 3.
But like
bars, my personal taste, I think it's 2.
But shout out to the homie. It's not over, Wayne. Your legacy is still there. None of this matters.
Maybe stop drinking that stuff. Out of this cup, you know.
I thought he did that. That's that's also what's fucking me up, Phil. Because I was like, I thought we were past this.
You seen how his dreads look, and you think he stopped drinking syrup? That's what you're saying. Yeah, what you're telling me? You're telling me you seen how his dreads look, and he was like, nah, he's totally not drinking syrup no more. That's what you thought.
Touche. That's all I'm gonna say. Hey, get off that shit, Wayne. Damn, man.
No, you seen his interviews? He's talking. Nothing about this guy tells me he's not drinking it no more.
No, you're right. When they have him on sports shows too, I'm like, you guys, why are you guys doing this to Wayne? He don't even be knowing half the teams that be playing. Like he don't know half the right. They'd be like, "You did a song with this rapper last week." He'd be like, "I don't know that rapper." I'm like, "All right, what's going on?"
Yeah, that's why when people were talking about the when people were talking about him and the Black Lives Matter stuff and like the political takes, I'm like, I'm not going to Wayne for political takes, guys.
No, at all. Yeah, when people were mad at him, I was like, you can be, but like you're wasting your time.
Listen to Wayne talk about political takes. I don't think that's a good idea. Like, maybe not. It's cool.
That's kind of how I feel too when they're mad at Drake. They're like, why doesn't Drake ever talk about real issues? I'm like, I'm not going to Drake for fucking real issues. What do you?
The guy that got on a verse and was like, she said she liked girls. I said, me too. That's who you want to go to for political takes?
I'm saying.
No, I'm good. Save those.
I'm cool. Nah, I'm gonna go somewhere else for it. I'm like, I'm not turning on the newest rap album to be like, let me get my political takes off. Nah, it's not happening.
Yeah.
Even the ones with the political takes, I'm not like, this is who I'm behind. No, this is crazy.
Yeah, but send us your super chats.
Yes.
That's the best way to get your chats read on this here podcast. You can also send us your humper chats. humperchats.com/Fightful.
Yes, sir. Of course, we always appreciate everybody that submits super chats and humper chats furthers along our conversation. We're going to get into a couple of them here, and then we're going to move forward. Mr. Best in the World says, are we finna get active to some Flow Rider during All In weekend? We?
I don't know. Listen, I've changed my entire perspective on Flow Riders. Might have had him fucked up, man. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, me too. Not that during the Vegas weekend, I agreed. I mean, I had a lot of drinks. I will say that. So yeah, I don't know what All In weekend's gonna be like. I don't know if it's gonna be the same vibes. I assume it's not gonna be. So I don't know.
It's Texas, bro. You're not trying to swing the Flow Rider.
But... Right. That's a fact, man. Play some Texas shit out here. Appreciate you, Mr. Best in the World 5. Homie Grapple Geekery says, I'm glad to be here with my childhood heroes, Reg and Phil, sending positive waves for all the folks who didn't get their contracts renewed.
Childhood heroes. Are you still a child of God, Grapple Geekery?
Grapple Geekery is still a child of God. But I agree with them. I and Phil are my childhood heroes, so
yeah,
that's what life is, Grapple Geekery also says, I really want to see where Shotzi and Abaddon show up. I'm team Shotzi for life. 1.5 women's matches on a 4-hour AEW was lame as fuck. Do better, TK. Shotzi already showed up in what I like to call her home promotion, Hood Slam, last night. So she's back in Oakland getting lit. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, no, Oakland. That wasn't a good look. Having a 4-hour show and having minimal women's wrestling on it, I think that did not look good in terms of like the stuff they started developing, bringing Ty Mello back, and like some of the angles they started. Great, but there should have been more matches. There should have been more time dedicated to the women on the show.
Yeah, at about 3.5 hours in, Phil, watching the show, that's what was in my mind. Of like, we've seen a lot of great action. I've seen some spot food, but like the women, what's up? Where they at? And then they were like, they say it like at that time was when Thekla was coming out, and then they were establishing thing, but I'm like, it could have done a lot more with the time that they had.
Yeah.
Like a lot more. 4 hours. Come on. Appreciate you, Grapple Geekery. The homie Meet Norma says, shout out to Coco Golf winning the French Open. Nice to see some black girl magic on a Saturday morning.
Yeah, shout out to Coco.
That's dope. Super dope. Them tennis players, what a life. What a hard, difficult thing. So to win at that is always dope. We're talking about tennis, right?
Yep.
Not golf. Appreciate that, Meet Normus. Joel Allcoin says, watch every week from Canada. Much love to you guys.
Appreciate you.
Always appreciate the Canadian homies. Appreciate you tuning in, Joel. I'm definitely that's still one of the places I need to get up to that I haven't to is to Canada. They're making things a little difficult now these days. So.
Yeah. Gotta get a different ID to get on a plane now. It's like, I don't know, man. You already got ID. What do you mean? This ID doesn't work? You need another ID? Like,
and you took a picture of me last time I was at the airport. What's that picture? Like, you don't remember that? Like, what is this? What's going on here?
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Joel. The homie Eloquent says, Donkey Kong 64 ass beat LMAO. Lin-Manuel, what the fuck?
Don't. Yeah, it sounds like some Inspector Gadget shit. Like, what the fuck was that?
It is some like creeping around the corner music, and like I'm with you, but it still feel like you said, because they put those verses over like some Griselda, and I was like, this sounds better, but still the bars are like, what are you saying though?
The bars are this sound like some Hickory Dickory Dock shit. Like I was like, oh, I don't know if we need this. Cool.
Listen, maybe Wayne's trying to appeal to the younger generation, Phil. The Hickory Dickory Dock shit be going over with some of them young kids.
Yeah, I guess he's trying to dumb it down. I don't know, but some of that wasn't hidden.
I mean, there is like in some artists' brains, they want to make like TikTok music because it's TikTok music. You know, it's
you think that's going to turn into a dance craze on TikTok? The elephants and peanuts.
I've seen worse.
I guess.
Elephants and peanuts. What is this? Appreciate you, Eloquent. Oh man. Orion Ben 666 says, congrats, Reg. Ruckus put the Bad Apple lyrics in Hater Rave 2. Yes, if you haven't heard Hater Rave 2, the Bad Apple Brian Keith track is featured in Hater Rave, and my voice and lyrics are on there. Very excited. Appreciate the homie Ruckus for putting that out there, and I appreciate everybody that's listened and said congratulations. Super dope. Like, I have to hear it on that rave because I don't know. You know, the other day, Phil, when Dynamite was on, I legit in my brain thought, where's Chris Jericho at? Like, that was my brain legit was like, where's Chris Jericho at? Like, I was intrigued.
I did not think that.
I don't know why I thought it. I was like, where's CJ? Where my homie CJ at?
It's so cool. Take some vacation, man. Take some time off, man.
Having fun with Fozzy.
Yeah. You think he's on vacation listening to the Wayne album?
He might be. It could be geared toward CJ.
Listen, guys, it's the best Wayne album I've ever heard. It got on there. Love the Lin-Manuel beat. Love it. It was great. Keep going, Wayne. Keep doing your thing.
The love the Lin-Manuel sounded just like when he be doing his little ad reads. I'm dead. Love the Lin-Manuel beat. Love Hamilton.
Listen, guys, I went to see Hamilton one night. It was spectacular. Her Lin-Manuel did this beat too. It's pretty good. I loved it.
Pretty good. I loved it. Oh man, I'm crying, dude. Shout out to the homie CJ and Orion Ben 666. BL Dog says, happy Grapsody, y'all. After 24 years of being a fan, I'm going to my first live show this Wednesday, and I get to see Swerve versus Ospreay and Mystico beyond hype.
Yeah, it should be a good show. Another 4-hour joint. Yeah.
What a way to do your first live experience, Phil. A 4-hour AEW show. They did like 10 matches this week. I'll see if you might see like 10 crazy matches in a row. Very excited about you. But beyond that, you get to see part 2 of Swerve and Ospreay in AEW, and I'm sure they're going to fucking tear it up.
Yeah, that should be a good one.
We're going to get into it more a little bit later. Issa Davis says, I blame Reg for my newfound WWE hate. Wait, hold on a second. What TKO is doing recently is awful, and fans need to send a message by not watching and not spending money. Reg was right about WWE. I am an AEW fan now. Oh, shit. Whoops.
I mean, well, you know, they doing it to themselves. I sat and watched some of the stuff. I told you guys 2 weeks, man. I sat and watched some stuff last week, and I was looking at this thing last night, and I was like, I seen the stuff's not good, man.
It hasn't improved at all, Phil. What's going on? I mean, people seem to like this truth thing that he did last time. I'm like, oh, you guys liked one thing in like the last 6 months? Cool.
That's the bar now.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, that's it.
That's the bar now. He said something you guys thought was funny. That's the bar. Okay.
That's the bar, dog.
All right.
And like, what we're building to tonight is like,
listen, man. I think the biggest problem with me right now in WWE, and I just did an article on this for Bleacher Report. We all know that this is a business. We all know that they're trying to sell us things. We all know that that's what wrestling is. At the end of the day, this is to get you to reach into your pocket and spend some money, whether it be on merch, tickets, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so blatant. It just everything they do feels like I'm trying to sell you something. Look, there's ads on the mat. Look, there's Prime hydration station over here. Look at this celebrity. Look at this influencer. Everything is to sell you something, and it could not be clearer to me that this Cena stuff is, hey, go buy these things. Hey, look, I come out in a different shirt in every city. Go buy this shirt. Hey, I'm the last real champion. See this shirt? Buy this shirt too. Oh, remember that kid in Brussels that I pointed out in the crowd? that could be you too. All you got to do is go buy my shirt and that hat and sit in the crowd so I can point you out and maybe you'll go viral too. Hey, by the way, in order to go viral, go buy some tickets to these shows. And it's just like everything is sell you something. And again, I get it. It's business. I get that that's part of the wrestling thing. But when it's so in your face that it feels like it's above the character and story and stuff, it kind of feels like you're taking me out of it now. Because it's just like, when I can see the product placement and everything, and when I can see the appeal to me to spend money on something, it's just kind of like, all right. I think like the first few weeks on Netflix, that was what I was having an issue with. Every week of, hey man, this is the WWE live experience. Come buy a ticket. Like, okay, I get it. Hey man, look who's here. Look, this celebrity's here. Look, this person's here. You could be here too. Go buy a ticket. I'm like, okay, but I just want to watch the television show. Like, is that cool? Is that fine too?
It's changed a lot, Phil. Someone who's watched the product for 30 plus years, like it's all, of course, like you're saying, it's always been a business. They've always been selling us something, but it hasn't been so in your face. Like every segment is selling you something, and then after every segment, you're being so like it's like you're saying it's so in your face now that it's off-putting. It's like their fans want to buy these things too. We can't even take that part of it. Like they want to be sold it, but if they're being forced every 3 minutes, things are gonna get crazy.
It's so corporate. I think this is the most corporate WWE has ever felt. And you know, they do certain things better than any other wrestling company. I mean, absolutely, Aaron. Last night, you had to throw somebody through a Slim Jim table. This is what I'm saying. Everything has product placement. Everything has an ad on it. Everything, partners, sponsors. It's just like, oh my God, it's overload, bro.
And I could see it because I'm seeing like the faithfuls, the WWE fans are seeing, they're like, all right, you guys, like, I think that Saturday night's main event was pretty glaring because after I was reading what people were saying about it, and everybody was just like, okay, you guys, we know you have to sell us ads, but this is overload. And like, now it's like you're saying, you don't even have to wait till commercial. They're selling you ads during the matches.
Yeah. It's too much.
They're burning their friends out. It's crazy. Issa David, hear you. Definitely hear you. It's crazy out here. Appreciate that generous super chat. The homie Busby says, I've never seen the timeline unite calling an album trash in a long time. Wayne needs a real producer like Hit Boy to guide him.
Yeah, he needs somebody. He needs an executive producer on this thing. I mean, go hash it up with Manny, bro.
Yeah, like, dog, come on, man. Why are you playing?
Go hash it up with Manny. And even if you don't want to do that, it's other guys that you could go and work with.
Seeing how artists will link with one producer and make magic. Shout out to Rome Streets and Conductor album is super dope. If you link with one guy and they get your vision and they understand, you could do it. Like Lil Wayne, like I said, today could be like, I'm back with Manny, or I'm with Alchemist, and we're like, all right, we're lit. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Busby. Grapple Geekery says, Phil, Predator Killer of the Killers was awesome.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people hyping it up. I haven't seen it yet, but
yeah. Is that a animated show?
Yeah, I think it's like a kind of like an anthology show, I think.
That's what's up. Where could you watch that?
That's a Grapple Geekery question. I don't know.
Chime in, the homie Grapple Geekery. Appreciate that. Paul Green Dennis chimes in and says, Lil Wayne been known to drop some sus verses throughout his career, though. LOL. Then again, most rappers we like did too as well. Some more than most. Yeah, I mean, if you go through like full catalogs, Hove got some wild stuff. Nas got some wild stuff. Busby's favorite Eminem, like, brother.
Yeah, it's on Hulu, by the way. It's a movie. It's not like an anthology movie.
Oh, okay. That sounds pretty dope. But yeah, we just talked about Biggie. Like, sus lyrics are like, so I listened to like some 80s rappers and I'm like, that's kind of crazy. So yeah, it's the game. Appreciate that, Paul. Van Twinblade said, the fuck is Linda on? I don't know who Ruby Bridges is. Biggie made an animated feature on her. The Fed produced it.
I think, being, the head of the Board of Education and not knowing something linked to education is not a great sign in any respects. It looks crazy. It also looks crazy when you have this era of trying to do away with Black history, and you have somebody that's, head of the board of education that doesn't know Black history. Doesn't look great.
Scary.
Yeah.
I was watching that clip and I was like, this is scary more than anything. Like,
we are definitely in this era of anti-intellectualism, and it is it's sad. It's sad where we are, and I don't know how it gets better. You had the Elon Musk crash out this week, which I don't see how people did not know was coming, including him. Right. I was like, this guy has turned on everybody he's been next to. His last vice president don't want nothing to do with him. And you think this was going to work out for you? You think Mr. Oil, Mr. Fossil Fuel was going to stay on your side, electric car guy? No, that was not going to work.
Everything that Elon's pitching, Trump is like against all those things. Like Elon thought if he got close to him and started getting buddy, he'd get his things off. But then Trump was like, I don't care about none of that space shit. I don't care about these electric cars. Like, bring back the muscle cars. Bring back this stuff.
Help me win this election. Help me win this election. The rest of that stuff, I don't care what you're doing. Listen, we're trying to bring coal back. We're trying to bring oil back. What do you mean?
And then the bro tweeted, I helped him win the election. We're like, yeah, we all know.
Yeah. And then he dropped that bomb that he's in Epstein files. And I was like, so wait a minute. While I think this is funny that you did that, you're openly admitting that you helped elect a guy that was in Epstein files?
That's what you're saying to us. You saying you do.
I don't know if that's a flex you think it is, Elon, but
it's not
go off.
And he keeps being like, release the files. I know about him. I'm like, dog, you saying you knew about him.
But you helped him win an election knowing that he was in there.
That's what gets me, because there's a lot of every time I see a video of like this Trump voter has changed their mind, I'm like, but if it would have went the other way and we all would have been screwed, you would have been fine with it. So I don't get it. Life is crazy. Forever Young Zoe says, what's up, Reg? I didn't know you were on Fightful. I'm looking for a co-host to start a wrestling podcast. Any idea how I can find one? Yeah, you just got to put it out there. You just got to do it, and then maybe search for who else is kind of on your same level trying to do the same thing. The thing that happened, looked out with us is Phil and I were homies, and then Will did the thing, and we just kind of, it was a natural progression. It wasn't like we were searching to do this podcast, and I think that's kind of worked out that's how our thing worked out. So I don't know what direction you want to take with it.
Yeah, I would say find somebody you enjoy talking about wrestling with more than just trying to find someone just for the sake of doing the show.
Important, super important thing, because like if you don't like the people, it's not going to work out. We would not have been able to do this podcast for so long if we weren't friends. You know what I mean? Because like, if it was just like, hey, some dude I met, like it's hard to like have chemistry and continue to do a thing with just some fool.
Yeah.
Some people do it, but it seems to never work out.
And some podcasts I've seen, I can feel the energy. Like, man, these people seem like they hate each other. Why are they still doing the podcast?
You saw like the fallout with like the Math Hoffa podcast. Like all those guys are beefing now. I'm like, damn, dog.
Yeah, Julian coming out here and being like, man, Maul on some shit over there. Maul is always late. And I was like, but I mean, Joe told y'all that. Joe told y'all he's always late. Like, why?
That's what's funny about it, is all the things that Joe was saying are coming out, and like they were calling him crazy when he was saying, they were like, why are you saying this about Maul? But he's like, no, I'm just giving it up. And now they're all coming. It's like, oh yeah, that is actually how it is.
I think it's going to take time for people to say it because Joe is Joe, but I think Joe came out the winner in that split.
It's been like that for a while, but I don't know if anybody will ever really admit it. Because Joe is still Joe, and he's still loud, and he's still that personality, but like,
yeah, still very problematic, but at the same time, I don't know.
The flow of the Joe Budden podcast is way better than the Roy Malone podcast. So,
yeah.
Appreciate that, Forever Young Zoe. And then Wol Alkinzo just sends a blank chat, but appreciate you submitting that, Wol.
If you meant to send us something in that chat, just drop it in there. Drop it in the chat. We'll see it.
Yeah, drop it in there. And then Ben Sifner says, keep your head up, WWE fans. At least Ari Emanuel brother isn't working for the company.
Keep your head up, WWE fans. It's hilarious.
Keep your head up. Appreciate that, Ben. But seriously, though, wrestling is in waves, man. Like, we just, like a year ago, Phil, maybe a little more than a year ago, WrestleMania build-up last year was hot, dude. You couldn't stop with people being excited. They did, like, life was vibrant. Like, it could be that again. Like, that's how wrestling works.
Yeah. Man. Now, things change, man. Like, these things are cyclical. It is what it is. But yeah.
Right.
Maybe that's what it is, man. Wayne sent the early version of Carter 6 to them over there, and they're like, nah, we're not doing WrestleMania in New Orleans, dog. We're going back to Vegas, so I'm sorry.
To what? Dwayne The Rock Johnson was the one. He's like, I got an advanced copy. And you guys know what? Even I'm not fucking with this.
Yeah, he put that in and was sitting there like, nah. We'll come back next year. We'll come back in a few years. Don't worry about it.
This is not extreme mana, you guys. We gotta maybe we should go back to Vegas. Yeah. Appreciate that, Ben. And Lil Wayne doesn't have to, dude. Like, he could stop putting out albums and like still tour just off of his catalog and being Lil Wayne. Like, you don't even have to do new music. We don't even expect that from you at this point.
Well, Push said he might need to keep putting out music. So I don't know what the truth is here.
Listen, money's tight. Appreciate everybody. That's all of our super chats for now. And like, rapping is fun. I understand as a rapper,
Yeah, look, I get it, man. And some of these songs that I've heard from him the last few years, it definitely sounds like that mixtape era where he's putting out stuff that works on playlists. And I think that's part of it as well. You're trying to get placements on playlists and things.
Yeah.
And that's part of the game now. But
that is the game.
He's too far in his career to be still doing that kind of thing. People, like, I don't know anybody that would expect him to be an album rapper at this point. That's kind of crazy. Like, like Kendrick's an album rapper. Like, or certain other guys are album rappers. I just don't. I don't get that from Wayne.
No, that's not his. We don't want that. His whole. I mean, he came to rose to prominence with like features, dude. We just want the features. We don't really.
Yeah,
just rap one verse and get out of there.
And even his best albums, like, it's like a great collection of songs. But can you say that it's like? I don't know if I would ever call him an album rapper.
Agreed. Because it wasn't the whole album that was tearing us up. It was like certain tracks, even off the albums,
Yeah, but that's why I say Carter 2. Carter 2 is probably his most complete album, in my opinion.
And it's crazy. I was bumping the Hot Boys album in '99. Like, that show was going out of style, brother. I've listened to a lot of Lil Wayne in my life. Different times, man. The Hot Boys album on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Influenced a lot of people, man. That's why I think some of this Kendrick stuff is weird too. Kendrick fans being so hard on the guy. I'm like, bro, you guys' GOAT loves that guy.
Facts.
He said multiple times he's a big influence on him.
Huge. Raps all of his verses, come on.
Yeah. We've got some Humper chats. Today is the 7th, right? Yeah.
Yep.
From Cody P, we've got, so India is making me hate them more. How do they keep getting away with this shit? I wish them and it's the same success my Heat had in 2011 during the finals after Game 1. Also, can we all agree that DDG is not only a dirtbag now, but also a deadbeat dad? Yeah, the DDG thing is very strange. All of these guys doing weird shit. I don't know.
It's like weirdo behavior is just acceptable. Is that the word to use?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't
know what to make up. I don't know what to make of it. But yeah, Indiana, man, this team just will not go away, bro. This team, they are a 48-minute basketball team. You got to make sure you put these guys away. No lead is safe because they will find a way to come back. And you got to give Halliburton his credit, man. Halliburton has turned into the guy in this playoff run where if on the big moments, on these big stages, he's gonna perform. He wants the ball. And man, first of all, it kept coming from somewhere. Toppin kept hitting all of these threes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, bro, they're not going to get back in this game, are they? This game's over. And so third quarter, I was like, yeah, this game's looking over. Fourth quarter, I was like, yeah, looks like this game is over. And then they started coming back. And then Nemhard came out and he like gathered and like hit my man with all them dribbles and then stepped back and hit that three. I was like, wait a minute. We're not doing this again, are we? Bro, SGA missed that shot and I can feel it when he missed it. When that shot came up and bounced off, I was like, oh, they're going to lose. Mm-hmm. And so when Halliburton got the ball on that next play, he hit it. I was like, get the fuck out of here, man.
Unbelievable. While you were just talking about, I was like, oh, Indianapolis. You have to put these guys away in 40 minutes. Tyrese Halliburton is basketball Peyton Manning. It's the Indianapolis Colts all over again. These fools would get beat up for the whole game. And you could there's 3 minutes left and these guys could win. They would come back. Peyton Manning would rally this comeback and do it. Tyrese Halliburton, every time I read the timeline and the whole game, people are like, what's going on? Why is he playing like this? What's this team? What's this thing? And then it gets to the last 3 minutes and they're like, oh, wait, they might win. Every time.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of this team. Like, they just won't go away. I saw a lot of people saying like, oh, this is the team that made that East. Yeah, because they deserved it.
Yeah, people are still on that. I still people like, it's because they did. I'm like, dog, they've been balling. What do you mean?
They've been hooping. I mean, they got some lucky breaks here and there, but they've been playing great basketball. And I tell you what else, Rick Carlisle's been coaching.
It's a fact.
Rick Carlisle has won a championship.
Mm-hmm.
He's been to the dance. He knows how to win.
And like, who doesn't? Some championships are based off a little bit of luck too. Like, it ain't all just domination. Sometimes it's like you got to catch a break. They've been catching a lot of breaks, but they're capitalizing on the breaks. That's the thing.
Yeah, I could not believe it because people have been talking all week. I mean, every series, everybody picks the other team. Mm-hmm. Oh, they're gonna lose. Oh, they made it past Milwaukee. Oh, they're gonna lose to the Cavs. Oh, they made it past the Cavs. They're gonna lose to the Knicks. Well, they're making it to the championship, but that's all right. They're gonna get swept by Thunder and win the first game in Oklahoma. That crowd was loud too. I was like, bro, that's why I was like, I just couldn't believe it. I was sitting there like, bro, this team, man, you just can't put them away.
They got to stop letting this guy step back too. Every time he did that step back, it's over. Y'all got to start training that shit, brother.
His dad was in the crowd, hyped. Papa Halliburton has been back outside. That video of him walking back up the hallway after the game, and his dad's like hugging on him and saying, "You did that." I was like, "This is crazy, man! Like, what is happening right now?"
Wild. This guy was just banned from the games.
They keep posting that clip of him like sitting on the couch, and then Halliburton walks in and they start dancing back and forth.
That clip kills me, dog. I'll be dying watching that.
Yeah,
because he is that. His dad is that energy of that video. It's so funny.
Yeah. Nah, I think it was Kaz. He had that clip where once they won, he was sitting there with that squint happy, and I was like, "Oh, I know that squint." he had that Henny squint, bro. I know a crowd world squint when I see one.
Eyes real low. Yeah, no, I've been there, brother. But shout out to Indy. Shout out to the homie J Rose having the fucking time of their life. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Did you see this?
Oh, I did.
Him sitting there, him like throwing Indiana jersey on while he's getting up. Yeah. Gilbert Arenas is a clown, bro.
He did it like a magician. I was on the floor, man.
He is a clown.
Gil is a fool. Speaking of that, did you see the Beasley and Lance Stevenson stuff before we get out basketball real quick?
Yeah, he when he was talking like that, I was like, oh, he's gonna win the game. So I wasn't surprised that he won the game. I was like, yeah. Stop playing.
When the demon was coming out of him in that little promo, and then I was like, oh no, he's serious. And then he got on the court and he was serious.
I would have been sitting next to him like, nah, dog, just give him his money though.
Yeah, straight up.
You ain't got plan.
Because Stevenson was like, I'm going to have a good time. He had his chains on. He was chilling. And Beasley was like, no, I will eat your lunch. I'm hungry. I'm going to smoke all this weed before I get on the court. I loved it.
Just give him his money. That's what I've been like. That's cool. That's cool. Just give him the money.
Mm-hmm. Great stuff. I like that they're doing things like that, though. Like you can watch two great basketball players play one-on-one for $100,000.
Yeah. More from more from Tony P. Sorry, I saw something out of the corner of my eye and started reading it. More from Tony P says, now for Petty of the Week, you can nominate who you want, but I would like to again award it to Naomi again this week for what she did on SmackDown to Roxanne, but also for what she said on Twitter to the other women with the most savage line going towards Julia and her braids. LOL. Now, what she said the other day, right after R-Truth got released. Naomi is hilarious, bro. If you guys didn't see it, Jay was like, "I hate this," and she was like, "No, I hate this more than I hate you. I wish you were gone and not him."
Naomi and Ricochet, heels of the Twitter and destroying it. I'm so happy for Naomi, Phil. The way that she's fully embraced this, she's fully gone, and she got the caution tape cell phone case. I'm like, Naomi is GOAT, dog.
Yeah,
and I'm hoping that she gets that big victory tonight. We're gonna get into it.
Well deserved if she does get it. Tony P also says, as for Money in the Bank, really only excited for the women's match. The men's Money in the Bank match will be fun, but I think does pique my interest. Like it doesn't. I think you mean it doesn't pique my interest like the women one. Also, fuck that lame tag match. As for Worlds Collide, I may watch it. Then we have AEW Fighter Fest. Yeah, WWE Money in the Bank will be coming to you from LA, Intuit Stadium, I think, right?
Yeah, Intuit Dome.
One of those kind of buildings. Arena, stadiums, one of those things.
This isn't even a 5-match card today. This is a 4-match card.
4.
Wow. I guess. Okay. That's what we're doing now.
It's not about giving you as much wrestling as you can get. It's about selling. Never mind. Selling on things, partners. Yeah,
Snickers.
Yeah, that's what it is. But yeah, WWE Money in the Bank will be taking place tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It's a 4-match card, as Fred said. We can go through it really quickly. We've got the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, Penta, Seth Rollins, Andrade, and El Grande Americano, who just won a match against Seth Rollins and CM Punk.
Oh, AJ Styles. He pinned him with the finish was AJ Styles does a springboard and he does a big slap to AJ Styles' chest. I was like, that's AJ Styles, Phil. A big slap to his chest is how he won. Coming into this week and a few days ago, I was like, this is Rollins' match to win, but people are convinced that Solo is gonna win.
I don't think it. You think Solo as Money in the Bank winner is interesting.
What is that?
I could see some people thinking that based off of I guess trying to still live in the last 4 years with this bloodline stuff.
It's not over.
No. I think the most interesting winner is Rollins in terms of, it's not just because I'm a Rollins guy, but just like with the stable he's got going, with the storyline, that's the most interesting aspect for this. But the fact that he keeps saying, I'm going to win this and I'm going to get all the power, tells me that he's probably not going to, because it kind of feels too predictable.
I'm only like, no disrespect to any of the other guys. Which one of these guys is going to be world champion soon? And that's Rollins. You know what I mean? Like the rest of the pack is just like hitters for the match. You know what I mean? Like, because it's going to be a ladder match. Like none of these guys. But they did also say on SmackDown, they're stressing it that you can cash in on anybody you want at this point with the belt. So
yeah, that's why I can see Seth Rollins not winning.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it should be Seth, but I can see Seth not winning. I can see El Grande Americano winning this match, guys. I could definitely see it.
Huh?
I could absolutely see it happening.
I'm so shocked because I can too. Like it didn't shock me that you said that. It shocked me that I think it's gonna happen. I'm like, damn, dude. Why though? Well, how did we get here, Phil?
Because I think Gable was gonna lose, of course, at Worlds Collide, and I could see him with that briefcase going to cash in on Vikingo. Mm-hmm.
So, Money in the Bank is what does that do for this concept? Because do people want to see that?
So here's the other thing: they're already teeing up King of the Ring.
Oh, right.
So King and Queen of the Ring is going to happen by the end of the month because Night of Champions is June 28th, and so they're already teeing up that as a way to get a title match at SummerSlam.
Oh, winner gets the match at SummerSlam. That's right.
And that's also partly why I think that Seth
Rollins could win King of the Ring. Okay, I hear you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's also partially why I think that Rollins isn't going to win, and I think it's going to be some goofy joke finish. But it should be Rollins with the briefcase, and him coming out with his two big heaters, and he's standing there with like his crazy suits on, and Paul Heyman is holding the briefcase for him. That's the move. That should be the move.
The move. Yeah. I think that has the most because he doesn't have to instantly cash in. It actually has more. It means more if he kind of carries it for a little bit and does this heel thing, you know.
And we know what he's done with the briefcase. You know, he is a successful Money in the Bank winner.
10-year anniversary this year of his cash in.
Yeah, it should be Rollins, but at this point, I don't know. I could easily.
They're gonna do a bit.
I could easily see them going with El Grande Americano winning it. And that report came out recently that Triple H doesn't really like the briefcase.
Oh, right. I forgot about that report about Triple H doesn't like this. He's trying to kill it. Put it on El Grande. There's levels to this, guys. 2 birds, 1 stone, baby. I thought wasn't he supposed to take this mask off at WrestleMania? What the fuck?
No, we got luchadors now. There's more reason for him to do it. There's more reason for him to be doing this bit now because we've got a bunch of luchadors. We got a partnership with a whole Lucha Libre promotion.
That makes me so sad that that's legit the thought process. It's like we have more luchadors, so it's even more reason for him to keep the mask on. And that's like, what?
Of course it is.
Damn, Phil didn't convince me this was going to win this briefcase.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because him walking around being silly with it would be a WWE bit as fuck.
And he's not always on TV. The briefcase won't always be on TV.
Some people are convinced that there's going to be a cash in same night too.
Well, that's also interesting too because you have the Jey Uso match against Gunther on Monday. Mm-hmm. And so some people think there'll be a cash in on Monday. Mm. But that's why I think it makes more sense for Rollins to win a briefcase because then you have the threat of him cashing in on Monday.
Right. And like if anybody else carries that briefcase besides Rollins, there's not going to be that threat.
Yeah, I mean, and I think really the big problem to me looking at these guys is you haven't really built up any of those guys to feel like they can be world champion other than Rollins.
Exactly. Right.
Andrade maybe, but like that's mostly just me being a fan of Andrade as a wrestler.
Right.
I haven't done anything with him on TV to make me think that he could win and do anything with that briefcase.
That's how I feel. That's how I'm like, it's a bunch of hitters in here. Like if Penta won, that'd be awesome, but he's not going to be world champion though.
The same thing with LA Knight. You haven't done anything with LA Knight to make me think, all right, this is the year. And I feel like I feel like fans have been like, LA Knight's going to win the briefcase for 3 years in a row now.
Yeah.
Like, the year to do it was in London when he was white hot, and they didn't do it.
It'd be way over line now, but then also, no, they shouldn't do that because it's gonna feel like you guys missed the boat if they give it to him now. Huh? LA, it's unfortunate.
In LA, he's gonna
In
win
LA, it should be Rollins though. You're right. Like Heyman holding the briefcase and the guys, like that's the visual.
Yeah, that's, bro, I'm telling you, that is the visual of his guys coming there, beating somebody down. He slides in the ring, does the hand like Roman does. He hands in the briefcase. That's it.
That was it. You just booked it.
That's it.
Easy as that. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but the fact that these two things are so close together isn't a great sign for what I think the next Money in the Bank winners are going to be. It kind of feels like either it's going to be a quick cash in and get it done with, or it's going to be something that feels inconsequential.
Right. I think they're going to go with the quick. I think with that report, I think Triple H is like, let's just get this shit over with and get this out of here and make these people forget about this damn briefcase.
Yes. On the women's side, got Alexa Bliss taking on Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, Julia, Naomi, and Stephanie Vaquer.
That sounds way better.
Yeah, that match sounds like it's going to hit. Like, just the pool of talent in that match is much better. I think the women's match is going to probably, be one of the best matches of the night easily.
Definitely.
But, just the way they've set this up, they've already basically told us that Julia has her eyes on the U.S. title. They had the whole Bakersfield brawl last night, and Julia came out and helped Selena win, and then was like, wait a minute, I'm a heel, and beat her up afterwards and picked up her belt. Oh,
they was in Baco last night, huh?
Yeah. Cena was out there with his Lakers colors and everything.
Yeah, that's Bakersfield. When I saw, I was like, this is not the Lakers playing LA. This is Bakersfield.
Buy some shirts. It don't matter. Buy a shirt.
I don't care about that.
Don't matter. Yeah, Alexa Bliss. A lot of people in this could really use this briefcase.
Yeah.
I think it should be Naomi, though. I think in terms of like a heel with that briefcase and the heel that has the most going out of that group of women, it's Naomi by far. I think she could do the most with that. And you set up so many good things already. Jay's not in a match, and you have Queen of the Ring close. Jade winning Queen of the Ring and going to SummerSlam to get the title match, and you have the threat of Naomi cashing in on her. That's the move.
Yeah. I feel like the only one that's been like set up to win this briefcase specifically, and not even so much on winning the title, has been Naomi. Like the story of like who could benefit from also kind of having a longer reign of carrying it is Naomi. Because if Naomi has that briefcase for a few months and she's just being who she is now, like she's going to have hella heat when it does come time to do it. A lot of people, of course, are like the odds are in Rhea Ripley's favor, but like Rhea doesn't need the fucking briefcase at all. She could come out tomorrow and be like, give me a title match. And they're like, yeah, here you go.
Yeah. I mean, her catchphrase at the moment fits perfectly with the briefcase. That's the move, I think. Yeah. But I don't know. When I think something is the move or obvious, sometimes I'm wrong. So I don't know. That's my pick to win. I wouldn't.
If you the hill side, do you want to have two hill winners? Like if you do the man, who's a baby face on the women's side? Stephanie,
Alexa,
Julia,
Stephanie, Julia's a heel.
Oh, Julia's a heel.
Rhea.
Alexa hasn't been set up like you were saying, kind of about on the men's side to.
Yeah.
For
Rhea don't need the briefcase to get it.
No. Like she don't need to win the Royal. She don't need to win any of the big things to get a title match. She's already earned like give me a fucking title match status.
Yeah. I think the layup here is Naomi.
Yeah. With that story that you told with the looming threat over Jade, like that makes a lot of sense.
And the way you booked Jade in Queen of the Ring before, where she got DQ'd, and that's how she lost. I think now the move is to have her go all the way to the finals and win it. And that way you can prolong the title reign by having Naomi cash
in. Do it. But
Yep.
that's a match. When you announce the participants, I'm like, that sounds way better. I feel like there's more options of who could win in the women's match. They're just set up way better for this.
Yeah. J. Roy saying a Boston guy and Lakers colors. Everything.
Everything is for sale.
Hey man, got 5 passports. I'm never going to jail.
Honestly. Cena in that big yellow when he was with the Boston accent back in the day. Okay. All right. I'll see you. Damn. And they're buying shirts at every stop, Phil. Like they're flying off the shelves, brother.
Bro, just the idea of just how things age. Whole saying everything for sale. Got 5 passports. I'm never going to hell. And the next line out of that is, I made Jesus walk. So I'm never going to hell. Hey man, based on some of the songs you just made, I don't know. You might be heading in that direction, my friend.
Yeah, on your way.
I definitely heard that latest song and was like, go to hell. So I don't know.
Go to hell. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, funny, man.
We also have Lyra Valkyria taking on Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental Championship. This is a last chance match, meaning that if Becky Lynch loses, she cannot challenge for the title again as long as Lyra holds it. But if Becky Lynch wins, Lyra has to raise her hand and acknowledge that she is the better woman. Based on this stipulation, I think Becky's winning.
They're doing the acknowledge me stipulation match. All right, I see what's going on here. I mean, you want to get Becky on your big show because she's Becky Lynch and she's one of the biggest superstars you have in your company. So this makes a lot of sense why it's here on this show. Funny stipulations and funny things, but you know, it's Becky.
Yeah, I think this sets up Becky winning, and I think you can move Lyra on to the world title picture now. I think she's proven she's good enough. I think she's shown she can work in there with some of the best wrestlers. She's got some big wins under her belt this year. I mean, man, she's pinned Becky Lynch. She's pinned Bayley, Io Sky. I think the IC title run has done what it needed to do for her at this point.
Right. She's lit. She's great.
Yeah. Then, you know, you already got a ready-made feud for Becky after she got Bayley potentially coming back. Bayley keeps mentioning her on IG and social media, so seems like that's probably the move. And that way you have 2 horsewomen feuding over the IC title.
Yep. And leaving the world title for the other girlies to go at it with. Exciting.
Yeah. But
needed.
Yeah, I think this match is going to hit. I think their match was the best match on the last pay-per-view, so I think this one's going to be no different.
The 2 women's matches are going to be the 2 best matches of the show. It's seeming like from looking at the card.
Yeah, women are carrying, bro.
They are.
They're definitely carrying. Then we have the tag match. I'm curious to see where that is going to land on this card because there are 2 world title holders in this match. Does it go on last after the Money in the Bank match? That way you have
the thing.
Yeah. I don't know, but Cody Rhodes will be teaming up with his former tag team partner. I keep forgetting that they were tag team champions at one point.
That's right.
Jey Uso. They'll be taking on the team of Logan Paul and John Cena. For some reason, John Cena is just like, yeah, I'm teaming up with this guy. He's my new friend, and he's going to be world champion, guys. I'm like, where did this come from? Why do you like this guy so much now? Why did you think everybody else hates him?
Right. It legit feels like it came out of nowhere. When they did that promo, Cena and Jay at Saturday Night's Main Event, Cena was talking like a supervillain, and he was like, Logan Paul's gonna be the one. And then he became, I'm like, why are you so Logan Paul champion? They go, that's kind of how you're gonna have ruin wrestling with that. Like, I hear you, but then people like how Logan Paul works, so he's not ruining wrestling for some. So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that this match itself is a good way to prolong the feud with him and Cody. That way you can push that match off to like SummerSlam or something else.
Right.
So I think that works, especially with the way you brought Cody back. Boy, this guy, very popular, very over. He came out last night and still very loud pops for him. And then Jey Uso came out right after him. Crowd was also very loud for that guy. Two guys
Those
that
guys
are
very out of here.
Very over guys. I think Logan is here to take the pin. Personally, I think that Cena and Logan Paul are going to lose. But then also it feels like they're trying to tee up a rematch between Jey Uso and Logan Paul. So I'm not sure. Maybe they're doing that just to throw us off the scent, because I kind of have the sense that Jey could lose tomorrow or Monday.
Me too. I think it's been it's feeling like it's time. Like if it's not Gunther, then it's whoever wins the briefcase or something like that. Like I don't know if he makes it to Tuesday as the world champion.
Yeah, I'm starting to get that feeling that he's gonna lose on Monday, and maybe that's what we're supposed to feel. But yeah, I do think that the baby faces are gonna win here.
Yeah, I can see Logan Paul taking the pin. Are they setting up? Are they going to go right into Cena and Cody at SummerSlam, you think? Oh, no, because whoever wins King of the Ring gets the title match.
Yes.
Okay. So then you're prolonging it even further then.
Unless you're doing it in Saudi Arabia at Night of Champions. Because it is Night of Champions, so I'd assume that your champions are going to defend their belts.
That's where you run back Cena and Cody. That would be...
Dun, 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 dun.
I mean, they'd love it out there for sure, but I don't know. Listen, the game is a game at this point, Phil.
Don't matter, bro. They're doing Royal Rumble there, bro. That's what it is.
It's up. It's up. Yikes. Woo! What do you think? Is this match going to be? What is this match going to be tonight? Just moments?
No, that's what everything usually is. I think it's going to disguise some of the stuff that we've seen throughout the Cena run so far, because you have better workers in there. Sure. I think the match is going to be fine. I'm just curious, how is the Money in the Bank stuff going to play into it? And where's the placement going to be on the card? Like if you open the show with this, it would make sense because you're going to get a loud reaction for Cody and Jey Uso, and then it's Cena as well. So I can see it opening the show, but I can also see it closing the show as a way to tease some stuff as well. But either way, I do think baby faces are going to win. But the fact that baby faces are going to win also kind of makes me feel like it's going to open the show.
Oh yeah. That makes a lot of sense too. Because you kind of want to start with the gigantic Cody pop, I think.
Yeah,
let's get it lit up in here. But I mean, also starting with the ladder match, fire, could go a number of directions.
Yeah, if I'm assuming, I think if it's going the way I'm assuming it's gonna go, the tag match probably opens the show, and then the main event is the men. Seth Rollins ends the show holding up the briefcase like Voldemort holding up the Master Wand at the end of
Yep. It rolls on Seth with this maniacal laugh, and we're out. I see it.
Yeah.
I like that better. I only like the main event if somebody tries to cash in, but if they don't care about the cash in stuff, then put the tag match first.
Yeah, Shelton, they don't usually put the Money in the Bank ladder matches at the main event, but they don't have a world championship match on this card. So I could see one of the ladder matches going on last.
Because that's usually what it is. It's like they don't put the ladder match on because they have a world title match to go in. But this time, both world champions are in one match. So
yeah, no women's title match on this card, which is an interesting choice. No tag titles match. But, we got pay-per-view for champions at the end of the month. So maybe that's what they're holding off on.
4 match. Where's Punk?
Yeah, he's going to be away. Once he takes one of those beatings, he got thrown through a barricade. We won't see him for a minute. He looked like he landed awkwardly on that ankle on Monday too. I don't know. So hopefully he's all right. The way he landed, and then he took that move, and it looked like he had like a little whiplash. The way his neck jerked forward, I was like, oh, I hope he's okay.
Yikes. Careful out there. That's an older dude, you guys.
Yeah, he showed a picture on his IG of like a big boot to the face mark.
Oh, I saw that.
And he was giving it up to AJ Styles. And I was like, I don't know. Gave you a little something to remember him by.
Right. Yeah. He's like, oh, it's been 20 years. What about this? People are so funny. There's rumors that AJ Styles. I'm like, why do people, if you don't like how a guy's booked, that means they're leaving the company? Like, it doesn't really work like that. People having 5 years on their contract and they're like, oh, he lost a match, he must be leaving. I'm like, no.
I think it's because of the Good Brother stuff. I think some people know his relationship with them, and their assumption is he was upset with them getting released again, and this is probably the end of his run with WWE. But we don't have anything else to really base that off of, other than the assumption that he's upset that the Good Brothers got released.
Okay. I don't know. I kind of expect him to stick around or retire there, but
I think he's going to retire for sure. How much more time we think AJ's wrestling?
Can't be too long. This guy's been going fucking hard for like 25 straight years. He hasn't been working like other people. Like, he's been going hard for 25 years.
Yeah, which I just saw the clip that I retweeted. I think that was yesterday, of his title match against Okada, and Red Shoes kicks the other Bullet Club guys out. One of the funniest wrestling ejections ever.
Man, life is different.
Hilarious. He if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Red Shoes is getting fed up with them, so he does the suck it chops to AJ, turns around, does a big suck it chop to all the Bullet Club guys, and they react to it like it is like the biggest shock of their lives. Gallows and Anderson are jumping up and down. Nick Jackson is like rolling on the ground, kicking his feet like a toddler. It's so funny.
Damn, sick match too.
Yeah. AJ New Japan run is legendary.
Goat.
But that is all of our Money in the Bank matches. 4-match card, quick and easy. LA. Hope you guys enjoy it. Very expensive tickets, I'm sure. Intuit Dome. Hope you guys get your money's worth. It should be.
Yes.
I think at least like the women's matches are going to hit.
And they're going to, a lot of people are going to 2 shows today, Phil.
Where does Worlds Collide take place?
Worlds Collide's it's like 20 minutes away. So they're like expecting people to finish the show, hop 20 minutes.
Quick turnaround.
Yeah.
It starts at
quick
turnaround.
It's hella quick, dude. I think it's like 30 minutes, maybe an hour to like get to the next thing.
Yeah, Double Kazuya is saying it's at the Kia Forum.
Like, by the time the show's over, the Worlds Collide's over, they'll already be into the pre-show for the next show.
Quick.
Money, Phil. Bring your cash, dog.
Yeah.
You probably got WWE taxis to go from place to place.
WWE taxis is crazy, bro.
Do you want an official Cody Rhodes voice is going to drive you on the way over? And these fans, I was going to say, do they have the money? But all these shows are sold out. All these items are sold out. Like, somebody has the money for this.
No, people spending the money. That's not the problem here. People spending the money. I saw that report where they were saying they're reluctant to put the announcement out for Vegas because they've seen a response from fans, and they're trying to figure out a way to do that. And I don't buy that at all. I don't think they care, because I think they know no matter what, it's WrestleMania, and people are gonna buy tickets. Even if the tickets are expensive, people are gonna buy tickets. It's WrestleMania.
And they've seen people talk that shit on the way up, but when it gets there, they're all gonna be there. Like, there were people that went to Vegas and were like, "Oh, I can't afford WrestleMania," but on the day we're like, "Actually, I got a ticket," because that's how this works.
Yeah. So I don't buy that at all, that they're trying to finesse this. Maybe, but I just don't believe that.
Yeah, I can't think that's the way. They're like, "Oh no, it's because backlash." No, that can't. Nah.
Yeah, I don't think they care about backlash at this point, especially online backlash.
Same. Even though they try to say that that's the game, like, "Oh, we listen," like, you listen, but you don't care. two different things. Like I'm listening, but I don't give a shit. I'm listening though.
Yeah, nah. Triple H sitting there reading that and then pressing the button on it. Hey, you could just turn this off. I don't have to even say that. The screen turns black afterwards. You could just cut this off. It's cool.
I didn't know you could just cut this off.
I don't think he cares about none of that.
Just keep scrolling. Oh man, yeah, but yeah, they're gonna make some money today. Coming up very soon. Good for them. Should be some fun wrestling throughout. I think the Worlds Collide has some good matches. The women's matches on the Money in the Bank should go, and maybe they'll tell some stories in those other matches.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll advance some stories. They'll get people interested in their next few pay-per-views coming up.
People like that. People like stories.
Depends on where they're coming from.
That's right.
But yeah, we're gonna get into some super chats and some more wrestling news. But before that, I'm gonna hit you the word from our sponsors.
Yeah.
What's up, Grapsody viewers? Sean Ross Sapp. I want to tell you about our new partner, MyBookie. Head over to mybookie.ag. Use that code FIGHTFUL. We have the link in the description below as well to see where we get our odds for all of the WWE and UFC events coming up, including tonight's Money in the Bank and UFC 316. Roxanne Perez was their favorite to win women's Money in the Bank. It has now shifted to Naomi. That's my personal pick. Seth Rollins has become their odds-on favorite as well. That's my personal pick as well. But I've hit on, I think we made like 28 underdog lock picks last year, and all of them hit. So make sure you keep your eye on who the odds favor and who you think might win as well, because you might be able to win a little bit of money. And MyBookie and the code FIGHTFUL is helping you out. When you deposit $100, you get a $50 bonus. When you deposit $200, they're going to give you a $100 bonus. Win some money tonight. Maybe by the end of the night, you'll be participating in some grapplers delight at MyBookie. Huh?
Sean,
Grappler's Delight.
what was that, man?
What was Grappler's Delight? MyBookie though. Yo.
Yeah. As always, bet responsibly.
Mhm.
But for sports betting needs, MyBookie is the way to go.
Listen, I would be with the way we just talked about the show, Phil. My picks, I don't know what my picks would be, honestly. Like,
I think
kind of tough.
I think some picks are a lock. Like I would say Becky's probably a lock.
Yeah,
that's the safest bet, I would think.
Mm-hmm. Are there safe bets? I get so nervous.
There's really no such thing as a safe bet, but you know, yeah. Because imagine how many people probably bet OKC on Thursday. I bet you a lot of people did. There were odds on favorite. I think the spread was like 10 points.
Oh my god!
Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, it was 10 points. So I looked at it right before the game.
Oh my god! Bet responsibly, you guys. But yeah, get yours in tonight. The basketball game's on tonight too, ain't it?
Tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. I don't know. The UFC fight's on tonight. It is a busy Saturday going on here.
Yeah, usually when basketball goes back to ABC, it's usually Sunday, not Saturday. Because I think ESPN is usually Saturday.
That's right. All right, let's get into a few super chats and we'll move forward. Bianca Leia says, "Happy Saturday, Thekla debut, Ty Mello return, Alex Windsor signing. AEW is cooking with the women. It's time for tag belts if booked correctly / given TV time."
Yeah, I don't know that a lot of people would agree with you, Bianca, that they were cooking after Wednesday, but in terms of like some of the stuff that's in development, I agree. They've got some exciting things going, but they just got to give the women the time. They got to give them the time on TV. They got to give them the matches.
And with the way that AEW is structured, they either have to let these women go out and do indie matches, or like they'll say, give them actual TV time, because they can't develop without us seeing them.
I mean, speaking of which, CEO was in Vienna yesterday, added another belt to her collection.
Yes,
now
sir.
5 belts. I love the Hangman was like, "Hey man, somebody else is gonna win this next year. Here, take this belt back." She's like, "Nope, I'm keeping this. You can't have it."
Do not take this belt back because I'm taking it somewhere. I love Mercedes hopping out of van, full gear with all her belts, and then went and won another belt. Amazing. The best of all time.
Bro. Historical, bro. Like, we just don't see Black women doing this. Like, being, going worldwide and winning championships like this and not being linked to WWE, because WWE was doing the big international shows and stuff. WWE's machine is not backing her. This is just her outside of that company going worldwide and winning belts. I mean, had a match at the Tokyo Dome this year, has wrestled in the UK, wrestled in Australia, wrestled in Vienna, is getting ready to wrestle at Arena Mexico soon. What a run.
Headline New Japan shows. Like, what? I don't like, this is not normal for women, for Black women. Like, this is she's doing something different, and this is great for women's wrestling, and people need to realize that. This is awesome for everything. AEW has I think, after Wednesday, people are a little bit upset, but like Bianca's saying here and what Phil's saying here, they have established a lot of the women. Like, we are excited about the future if they do get that TV time, though.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Bianca. Issa also says people are paying $1,000 to watch 4 matches. Shake my head. I hope Roxy and LA Knight win.
Yeah, Roxanne with the briefcase would also be cool, but I just think, like, I don't think you're gonna have a better chance to give Naomi this run with the briefcase,
right?
Especially with the way she came back from TNA, and people kept wanting you to do more with her. Like, she's got something going now. Like, the excuse a lot of times, well, she can't cut a promo, and what's the character? Like, she's got it. She's got the full package. She got to run with this.
Roxanne is going to win this briefcase in time. Not today, though. I don't think it's time. Like, she has time. Like, she's going to hold this briefcase, but I don't think it should be today.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at Roxanne winning, though.
Also, she's amazing. Because there's been a lot of talk. People I've seen of AJ Lee's been in the talks a lot because of like Evolution, and AJ Lee keeps being like, please leave me alone, you guys. I'm not coming back to wrestling. And it's like, we got Roxanne. Like, what do you need? Because somebody was like, oh, because people keep calling AJ Roxanne's mother, and it's like, I love AJ Lee, but like Roxanne, like, is already a better in-ring worker than her. That's no knock against AJ, but just Roxanne's incredible.
I think it's just different. I think it's different time period. I think that she works a different style. She's also had better opponents to work.
That's a fact.
It's different.
Yeah. Shout out to, but I would, if Roxanne wins this, that shit would be tight though. Appreciate that, Issa. Devil Kazuya 27 says Goofy Solo is so great, he's actually funny.
Nah, he's so much better when he leans into the comedy stuff. All of the self-serious stuff did not work for him. Him trying to come out and be this like menacing boss character with the leather gloves and stuff, it don't work. But the comedy stuff is great. When he came out there and confronted Rollins, and he had like those looks on his face, he was like, wait a minute, you got like a bloodline going on here.
See, he's been great with these little one-liners in this thing. That video that I watched before we got on the pod of him talking to Jeff Cobb backstage, and Solo, and Jacob slowly walks around the corner, killed me.
Yeah, with the sitcom music, yeah, hilarious.
Yeah, but Solo's awesome. I kind of wish it was like this the whole time, because the beginning thing would have felt a little bit better, but I love where he's at now.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Devil. Ben Sifner says, I am looking for a new folding table. Are they going to start selling Slim Jim tables on WWE Shop? Get you a Slim Jim table, brother.
You give them a chance, they'll sell you anything, buddy.
That's a fact. Like, you say it out loud. If you say that could be a merchandise thing, they'll make it a merchandise thing.
I didn't even know they wanted that. Okay.
Oh, y'all want that? I didn't even know they wanted that. As hella funny. Appreciate that, Ben. Wool Akinzo says, nah, I just wanted to support young brothers doing their thing. I think LA Knight might win, using it to uplift a star. Thanks, Wool, for earlier. You had submitted the thing that was blank, but you're just saying you're giving it up to us. Submitted another very generous super chat. I appreciate that. Is there a world where LA Knight could still win this, Phil? Because people are into it seems.
I think there is. I just don't really see it. I don't think that they've done enough to make him feel like a believable world champion at this moment. Like, and I think that's the big thing that stops me from believing he's going to win the briefcase. Because, like right now, considering what he's been doing for the past year, I haven't been like he has the momentum to be world champion. I think he did at one point, but I don't think he still has it right now.
I mean, there's people like Wool and Issa that were saying they want LA Knight to win, and I've seen online that people are saying they want. That's the thing, like they still are on the side of LA Knight, so I think it would be like good fan service, but I just don't see him winning the belt after that.
Yeah, I could see, but see, that's the other thing. Like if he wins, I could see like Seth barging down to screw up somebody else's cash in. Like that's the only way I could see that going.
Yeah, it's just if they want to do fan service, but I don't know if that's what this is going to be.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty funny. Seth with his like big like Seth high pitched voice like coming out and they like jump somebody else with their briefcase. You think this what this is? Huh? You think you're gonna cash in? Huh? You think this is your company? This is my company.
See, that might hit a little bit better. I don't know. I'm kind of liking that. Seth is going to be world champion like within the next something. So it's fine.
God, come on, dog. Give him his belt back, man. That's his belt.
Yeah, straight up. Appreciate that, Will. And then Issa Davis says, "Did you guys hear about the Roxy situation? Crazy." Yes, I heard about it. It's awful.
Oh, that account. Yeah, nah, that was
yeah.
Maybe stop, drawing attention to the account and just like report it. I've seen people that like are screenshotting the account and like linking to the account. Don't do that part of it, or don't tag her on it. Just report it. Like, just report the account. That's fine.
Don't tag her on it. What is the deal with these people being? Did you see this, Roxanne? She saw it, dude.
Yeah. And even if she didn't see it, why would you want her to see it?
Well, do you want her to see it?
Yeah.
It's crazy. People. That's our super chats. Appreciate y'all. Hopefully Roxanne's all good. It's crazy out here.
Yeah, that's terrible. But
there was a Liv Morgan thing too earlier this week, I guess. Like, you guys need to relax. Well, you guys are normal human beings that wouldn't watch this and do those things. So.
Yeah, and see, my thing when you draw attention to those kind of accounts, and then other people see that's the way to get attention, then they'll do it. It doesn't matter if they really feel that way or they plan to do anything to anybody. That's how trolling works. When it's like, oh, this is what got somebody's attention, I'll do that too. That's why I'm like, don't draw attention to it. Just report it.
Yep. Don't feed the trolls. You're feeding them.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, you can't win. You can't beat anybody that's in that state of mind. They won. They won with you talking to them.
Yeah, either this is somebody that's probably not well, or there's somebody that wants attention.
Right.
Okay. Got some from Tony P. Says the show was okay, but felt like it was halfway booked. The first 2 hours felt like a dynamite. Then the last 2 hours, like a damn 2-hour rampage. But the lack of women's matches for a 4-hour show was glaring. It felt like TK really didn't care that show. No, I think it was supposed to feel that way because the first 2 hours is dynamite and then the second 2 hours is collision. I think that's all it was.
Right. I thought that's what the super chat or what the Humber chat was going to be like. Oh, the first 2 hours felt like it's 2 hour for dynamite. And second hours felt like collision. I was like, yeah, I think that's was kind of the vibe. I think they knew. Because that's a hefty task, doing a Wednesday night show for 4 hours, getting people to kind of stick around. They knew what they were going to have to structure it in a certain way.
Yeah, because you've got 2 WWE shows today, so they didn't want to go up against those 2 shows. So just put Collision on Wednesday and make it a 4-hour show. That's what I assumed it was. But I agree about the women's wrestling part.
There was a report that came out that said they could potentially be trying to find a new place for Collision or something. They're testing out different places or times and slots, and this 4-hour thing was some kind of test. Also, don't the test never
Please
better
don't.
be that 4 hours are forever, because that's insane.
Please don't. I don't want 4 hours every week. Yeah, I was sitting looking at their thing like 4-hour show. They think they're us. Like, well, you can't do that.
You think this is a random Saturday morning? Absolutely not.
No.
How do you feel about because there's talks of them potentially moving Collision to Thursdays. I feel like watching wrestling back-to-back nights every week might be kind of a hefty task for a lot of people.
I don't know. I think Collision still has that uphill battle of getting past certain people that think it's non-essential. And so putting it the next day, I don't know. I don't know that it'll work.
That's kind of where I'm landing too. I'm like, I don't know if, like, I know Saturday is kind of, but it's still like you got to give time for people to breathe, essentially.
Yeah, you gotta let people digest your show from Wednesday.
Digest. That's a great way to describe it.
Yeah, I don't know, but it does feel like they're inevitably gonna have to move it with the amount of stuff that's going on Saturdays, the amount of wrestling shows that are happening on Saturdays now. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be able to be the stable time slot for it.
And WWE doing shows at all time at the day. They'll do a show at 9 a.m. They don't care about nothing.
It feels like we're getting more and more pay-per-views, more and more like special events, Saturday night main event, and all this stuff. So it just feels like there's constantly something going on Saturday.
Right. And then you can't move to Friday because that's SmackDown. It's like there's not a lot of real estate on these weeks.
Yeah, you got Impact Thursday. Yeah, unless you're gonna move to Tuesday. I don't know.
It still would be back-to-back nights. So
yeah. Tony P also says, but I guess he is caring more about next week's show though, and or heard the criticism because we got 3 women's matches and Will versus Swerve. Speaking of AEW, Shuri versus Alex Windsor killed it. Alex was announced. She got signed. Sadie's now has 5 belts, Monet. Yeah, I think that's a good sign that he's already announced the 3 matches for next week. I hope that is a coincidence and not a here's 3 matches. But the fact that they had already started building towards things in this episode is probably a good sign that that's where they were heading anyway. I just think the timing didn't look great. Like, where's Statlander at? Where's Willow?
That's what I was thinking the whole show. I'm like, where are they at? What's this going to be like? Jamie Hayter. We need more we need the people that have been representing on the show to continue to be representing on the show. So yeah, we are getting matches next week, but I'm with Phil. I hope it's like we were always going to give these matches and not like, let's put these matches on here to make these people happy.
Yeah, I hope that's the case. Alex Windsor is great. I think that's a good signing for AEW. If you have not seen her work in the UK for like Pro Wrestling Eve, or she just had the match with Shuri that Tony P's talking about. I believe that was also Pro Wrestling Eve. But yeah, I think she's great. I think that's a good pickup for them. Hopefully they have a plan for her. I think that's becoming more and more my concern with some of these signings. Like, don't just bring them in and plop them in. Like, bring them in with something in mind for them,
so they don't just get lost in the shuffle. Because if you bring them in and give them the hot start and then we forget about them, it doesn't hit the same.
Yes. But yeah, that wasn't the only announcement we got. You left out the big announcement, Tony P. The biggest announcement from Wednesday. We got the announcement that there would be an announcement. We got the announcement that there would be an announcement heading into the second hour, and I thought that was smart. I thought that was a way to go, hey, well, guys, stay tuned in because you might want to hear what this announcement is.
That's what I kind of liked about the whole show, actually. Like, Will Ospreay came out to start the show and was like, hey, later on, do you want to have a match, Leo Rush? Like, it was like they were establishing things for later in the same show.
Yes, which is the way they usually do things for Collision anyway. It just was the same day.
Right.
But yeah, I thought that was smart to make that announcement early on and then have that in the tuck for later on. and then you started building to what the announcement was in the first hour as well.
And then it's a funny bit because Tony Khan used to always do these things, and he hasn't done one in a while. Like Tony Khan makes an announcement; it used to be every week.
Yeah. Which that time period, let's please not go back to that.
Let's not do that.
That was yeah. Let's not do that again.
People used to be speculating all weekend. What's it going to be? I'm like, I don't want to speculate on what the announcement is going to be. Let's not do this.
But yeah, we got a lot of build for All In this show. We've got more and more of the Ospreay and Swerve stuff that's going to play out next week. I have to assume that's leading us to the tag match. We got more build for Hangman and Mox. We got like actual interaction between Mox and Hangman this week. We got more Tony and Mercedes stuff. Mercedes doing the wink and nod from her Broken Skull Sessions interview. I eat steak like him now. I thought that was great. And that boy, I just listen, man. I know our people. I've talked to a lot of black people. I've talked to a lot of black women that say the same thing. Well done steak. You do not have to eat well done steak anymore in your 30s. You don't have to do it. Stop burning that steak. Stop cooking all the juices out of that steak. Like,
dog, people complaining this week. I was thinking the same thing you're thinking. If I'm like, black women, though, you guys don't understand how black women work, dog.
No, you do not have to keep eating well done steak, bro. It's fine. Stop letting them cook.
That's such a black woman steak, though, you guys.
Yeah, I knew it as soon as I saw it. I was like, bro, she got that cold, well done steak out there. I know that steak is tough, bro. That steak looked tough. And so I was like, yo, no, stop doing this. But yeah, I thought that was hilarious. Her sitting out there with the table and everything, with the steak and the wine. I thought that was a funny bit. And then
Taz calling it a shoot steak. The commentators are being
shoot steak.
That's a shoot steak.
Yeah, hilarious. Tony coming at the end and picking up the steak with her bare hands and just eating it. Hilarious. But yeah, we got a lot of build to All In. And we got the stuff after the Fatal 4-Way for the International Championship between Okada and Omega. So I was like,
great match too.
Everything's happening. It's all happening. That's what the company man says, right? It's all happening.
Yes.
And so I could see it. So once the announcement was made, I was like, is it the announcement I think it is? Sure enough, was the announcement that we all have been waiting for all year. Omega Okada 5 will take place in Arlington, Texas, at All In Texas. Very excited for that. I've already booked my flight to Texas. I booked my flight to Texas off of the belief that this match was happening. So I was already locked in. The second Omega was ready to go, he was back in Japan. He's been wrestling again. I was like, oh, we're here. Then we got the stare down at Revolution.
Where Kenny, it was a bit of a stare down because Kenny kind of got out of there pretty fast.
Yeah, we got the stare down stuff at Revolution. Well, sorry, we got something before that, didn't we? Because didn't Okada win the belt and then Kenny with the guy that came out and then
that was World's End.
That was at World's End. That was last year. So I'm sorry, we started getting the build all the way back in December. And so when December came, I was like, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing all the signs. We're getting here. We're getting to the destination. And they did it with the big All In Texas sign behind them. I was like, that's happening. It's happening. So we finally have the announcement. Omega Okada 5 will be taking place on American soil. If you know anything about New Japan lore, you know anything about the lore of the building of this company and Tony Khan's fandom of wrestling. Tony Khan has been chasing this match for legit 6 years. We're finally here. Biggest stage possible. I'm back and forth on where this is gonna end, but I can see this match main eventing, guys. I can see it.
I mean, there's a we've talked for years on this podcast about AEW, the development of AEW. You know me, I'm always on here like, without the Young Bucks, who knows where we have been. There's a couple of things that this company is built off. One of those things is Kenny Omega versus Okada. Like, that series of matches is like a big, huge part of the reason why every Wednesday night and every Saturday night we get to watch this wrestling. Because, like, I remember watching Kenny and Okada Wrestle Kingdom. I was working at Sprint on a shift and I had that match on my phone. And I just remember thinking, like, wrestling had changed. I was like, this is like, when they say Meltzer broke the scale with that match, he did. Like, the wrestling landscape shifted with what these guys did. And watching the other two matches that they have continued to break the scale was like, you never think that you would get the opportunity to eventually see those two same guys on American soil in a big pay-per-view. Like, I can't even believe that we've gotten to this place. And yeah, I'm with you, Phil. This company kind of exists because of this match existing. It could be the main event of the show.
Yeah. Yeah. I distinctly remember staying up crazy hours of night, watching Wrestle Kingdom, watching New Japan shows, seeing these matches, and thinking, like, this is insane. This is some of the greatest wrestling I've ever seen. And so when Kenny left, I thought, okay, probably not going to get another Okada match anytime soon. But, you know, once the partnership started happening, I was like, oh, we're back. We're potentially going to get that match somewhere. If it's not Forbidden Door, that match is going to happen. It has to. If you guys don't know, right before he left, it seemed like they were building towards doing that match at Madison Square Garden for the Ring of Honor New Japan show. And as the story goes, of course, Kenny Omega left, went and joined All Elite Wrestling. Jay White became champion, leader of Bullet Club. Jay White versus Okada was the match that ended that show at Madison Square Garden. And so ever since then, I've been just like, we were robbed of getting this match in America. It's going to happen. It's going to happen someday. I just don't know where. And this is it, man. I did not think we would get here in this amount of time. I didn't think it would take this long. Fucking Texas gets everything.
I hate them.
I thought for sure there were certain things like first Forbidden Door, United Center. I was like, come on, man, just do the match here. And didn't happen, but that's all right. We are finally here. Omega Okada 5. I haven't dug it up in a while, man. So this is the right time, man. I've seen these guys do this too many times. These guys created magic. If you did not watch those matches, go and get a New Japan World account right now. You have no excuse. $9 and some change, and you can see 4 of the greatest wrestling matches of all time to get ready for this match to come to Texas. Super hyped, bro.
This is unbelievable. Like, getting to this place at this time with both of them guys have been through, like, when Kenny Omega left New Japan, Phil, it never was in our brain that, like, eventually Okada's going to leave too. Like, that wasn't, we never thought the way that we were going to get back to this match was Okada was not going to be in New Japan. Like, so that part right there, all of that went into that, Okada becoming this TV American wrestler, and like, that's the way we're going to get to it. It's like, I never in a million years could have predicted this, but I'm super excited. I think at this point, seeing that match this week with Kenny and how he was working, seeing how he's been working all this year, interested to see, because it's going to be completely different than those other 4 matches. Like, this isn't going to be like anything we've seen before, essentially, because they're 2 different wrestlers than they were 6 and 7 years ago.
The other thing that I was concerned about bringing that match here, it's hard to replicate what was so great about that time period, because Okada felt like this unbeatable guy.
He was God.
It felt like this thing that Omega could never get past. He could never beat this guy. And that was the part of the appeal of those 4 matches of, can he beat this guy? Can he get past this guy and hit him with the one-winged angel and win? I was like, I don't know, man. Once he's beat him, I don't know if the appeal is still there. We got the ending. We got the ending in the fourth match. And so I don't know if you can get that appeal again. Buddy, watching the way we've been structuring the Okada matches on pay-per-view, he's starting to feel more and more like this unbeatable guy. Everybody else comes out there and throws their best things at him. Speedball pelted him with as much kicks and everything. He threw all of his offense out at him, and he just was like, and then just drop kicked him out of nowhere and beat him like it was nothing. He's starting to feel more and more like this unbeatable guy. And because of the real life circumstances with Kenny Omega and him coming back from the illness, he feels like the underdog again. And I wondered how you would get there. Unfortunately, him having diverticulitis has added to the lore of this. And now he's got to come back from this place to get to a place where he can wrestle the greatest wrestler in the world. We're really back, man.
We are so back. Oh my God.
We're really back, baby. I didn't think we would be this back, but we are back, man.
I didn't know that was going to be the story, but that's so great. It's like, oh yeah, I have beat him before, but Kenny feels like like I was saying, he's a different wrestler than he was years ago. Now he's like, can I still compete at the highest level? Not only that, I'm an EVP now. I have different responsibilities. We're in a company. This is America. Like we're essentially on, soil that neither one of us really represent. We're kind of in somebody else's home. Like, can we take over there? What's it going to be? How can I take this Kenny Omega and beat this Okada? It's a story in itself.
Yeah. We're really back, man. We're really back, and Kenny is getting ready to wrestle his greatest rival in Texas. The Young Bucks may or may not be getting ready to wrestle two of the best wrestlers in the company. Hangman may be finally back to winning the world champion. God, we are so back, buddy. We are back, baby.
It's lit. It was always about All In Texas, Phil, that there had to be all hands on deck. Like, who are the hottest superstars? Those people have to be here. We need Mercedes and Tony because they're the hottest women wrestlers we got. We need Hangman in this because he's our guy. He's the guy. We need Swerve and Ospreay because they're also killing it. Like, everything, we have to have all hands on deck, and they are putting all hands on deck. This is crazy.
Yeah, very, very excited to see these two guys wrestle in person. Did not think that would ever be something I could say, but super duper excited. Yeah, I don't know. I saw people that were complaining about the Death Rider stuff heading into this show. Who's going to win the Owen? Who's going to be their challenger? And the entire time I was like, man, look, if it's Hangman, great. If it's Ospreay, great. I'm not worried about none of that. The match that I am going to see when that's announced, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. Once we're here, we're it, man. We talked about Push earlier and him buying his way out. One of the greatest Pusher T things he's ever given us is the video of him getting his jersey signed by Iverson, and he's jumping up and down and saying, "You can't tell me nothing." Guys, this match is happening in America, and I'm going to see it in person, buddy. You can't tell me nothing, buddy. We are here, buddy. We are back.
I didn't even know this was a possibility, but this is insane. Like, again, Phil said, if you haven't seen their 4 other matches, you want to get prepped and see some of the craziest shit that you've seen. You're going to watch the match and be like, oh, I see these spots all the time now. Yeah, because this is where they originated from. People stole their whole identities off of what these two guys did.
Bro. I saw someone talking about my man that used to be on the Mustache podcast. What's my man? Dante on Desk. Dante on Desk was tweeting after he watched the first one, and his mind was blown. I'm just like, that's not even the best match. No. It's not even the best match of the 4, and that match is very good.
That match is amazing. Like, if that was the only match, it'd be one of the best matches of all time. But they took that match was just like an appetizer.
Can't
just
wait.
A couple of egg rolls to get to the real meat, and you got to the meat, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, Money Mark, correct. Happy birthday to one of the GOATs. I seen Iverson come out on stage with my man did the White Iverson song. Not a big fan of that guy personally, but the funny thing about it is when he brought him out and Iverson hugged him, I was like, this is the guy you guys were trying to convince us to hate and saying he was this bad guy. He shows love to everybody. Every time I see this guy, he's doing nothing but showing love. And man, love that the transition he made after his career, because it's looking touch and go at one point. People were talking about his gambling habits and some of his other bad habits, but he seems like he's in a good place with the Reebok deal and his position with Reebok, and just as an ambassador for the sport. Could not be happier to see just how in great spirits he seems like he's always in.
Yeah, I've watched him on a couple podcasts, and they'll try to get him into some dirty weed shit, and he always is so graceful and like, nah, that's not what he's about. Like, always super humble and just wanting to talk about the positive things that happened in his career.
Yeah, he was on, and they were talking about how people were saying, the next guy that, can cross people over like Iverson, and he, I forget which podcast he was on, but they were like, yeah, there is nobody. And he was like, no, there are. He was like, Steph's better than me. And I was like, that's what makes Iverson though.
That's why. Yeah. That's why. Listen, I was trying to cross people over, Phil, and I was trash. And it was all because of Iverson, but I could not do it. Couldn't do it.
Legend, man. Can't believe people are trying to argue that this guy is not like one of the most influential basketball players ever.
That's what I was going to say. If we're just talking influence, like, name somebody that had more, because shit.
You can't, bro. He's got to be in the top 4, top 5.
Definitely. I know I based my whole aesthetic off of him at one point, so yeah. I don't know about the rest of y'all. Iverson was the guy. Anytime we got a cool sports athlete, because it seemed like anytime somebody was cool and Deion Sanders was trying to be cool, they were like, this guy's awful. When anytime like we got a cool guy, Ken Griffey was being cool, they're like, this guy's awful. Like, they tried to like turn them into villains, and we were all just like, this is dope, we love it. Ken Griffey's wearing a backwards hat, this is hip-hop.
Nah, bro. That guy had the commercial with Jadakiss. You couldn't tell me nothing as Iverson fan at one point, man.
And then the sneakers, like, we don't have to get into the sneakers. No, the sneakers were, brother. I used to go to school, and like every black kid in school would have the same sneakers on, Iverson sneakers. In the life of Jordan, and everybody was wearing Iversons.
Yeah. Speaking of New Japan, we did get the Best of Super Juniors finals on Sunday. Do have a winner. What a finals match it was. Kosei Fujita took on Yo in the finals, and man, this match was amazing. These two guys, young guys, and they killed it. Very fast-paced, high spot match that you would expect to start the match from these guys. They were doing the big springboards and the big dives, but then it really broke down into hold exchange and like the mat game, because of course Fujita is a member of TMDK, and his mentor folds you up like a pretzel and tries to get you to submit. So there was a lot of that, and a kind of devices, that the back and forth in this match, the strikes and everything, the chop exchange that they had, where Yo is just like standing there taking all of these very, very hard chops. He's just bouncing off the rope and just standing there like, what? Like, you're not going to get me out of the paint with this. His chest was really red at one point. He's just sitting there like, what? That ain't going to do it.
Ain't enough. Yeah, I think that having these two guys in this match doing this kind of, I mean, we've seen a lot of epic finals, but the structure of this one, with what we've seen in most of this tournament, I think was a perfect thing to do.
Yeah, very, very good match. The last exchange of it to get to the finals. At one point, I thought Yo was going to win this match, because Yo was really, carrying most of the momentum. He was putting Kosei through the paces, man. And so I was like, this kind of feels like Yo's match to win. But Kosei Fujita did pick up the win. He is the 2025 Best of Super Juniors champion. I mean, winner. The youngest winner ever at this point, 22 years old.
Hard.
The former youngest winner is a guy you guys might know, Will Ospreay, won it when he's 23 years old.
Yep.
But yeah, he's going to go on and challenge for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship now, which is held by a very terrifying guy that also can wrestle most people out of the gym by the name of El Desperado.
Yep.
But before that, he's got another challenge on his hands. Jun Kasai came out and challenged him during the night to another one of those crazy deathmatch matches that these guys have had. And so Vegeta said after the night that he can wait. He won't challenge him at Dominion. He can wait until he gets past this match, and then he'll still get his chance to be IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. But Dominion is coming up. It's right around the corner. I believe it's June 15th.
Probably to
double check
correct date on that. Yep. But
I believe it's June 15th.
22 years old. Just hearing that and seeing what these guys go through on a weekly basis, but specifically in this tournament, to do that at 22 years old and to look like that at the end, amazing. Like I think of what I was doing at 22, and I'm like, I couldn't. What?
Yeah, it is indeed June 15th. Will take place at Osaka Hall. Right now, we've got the main event set. Shingo will be challenging Hiroki Goto for the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Of course, Gabe Kidd will also be challenging Yota Tsuji for the Global Heavyweight Championship. David Finlay versus Evil, dog collar match that was also built after their big cage match. Konosuke Takeshita is probably going to have another heater, defending his never open weight championship against Bolden Oleg. Very much excited for that. This card is looking pretty fire. Also, I have United Kingdom, team of Great O'Khan and Callum Newman taking on Taiji Tomohiro Ishii for the tag team titles. I was confused at first because it said junior. I was like, wait, but it's for the junior tag titles. Yo and Master Wado will be taking on House of Torture, Show, and Kanemaru. That should be a fun one as well. Hiroshi Tanahashi will be taking on Yuya Amura as well. I don't know, man. New Japan might be putting these guys to shame with how to book a farewell tour, because this guy, I feel like he's having a better farewell tour.
I'm like, does the other guys watch any other farewell tours? Because we've seen some good ones. We're currently seeing a good one in New Japan. They're giving us all the stuff we want to see, all the stuff we kind of predicted would go on with Tanahashi's retirement. And it's like, oh yeah, these are fun things that we wanted to sell. So I don't really understand what's going on the other side, but super excited for Tanahashi. These last couple of matches have been great. That Dominion card though, New Japan, they're not fucking around, Phil.
Yeah, it's looking hot. We also got El Phantasmo, Shota Umino taking on Zack Sabre Jr., Ryohei Oiwa as well, a tag team match. Yeah, all these matches sound great.
Is Goto's time over?
No.
No.
I don't think he's losing to Shingo. I don't know. I think there's a real good chance he could carry this thing all the way to the Dome.
That's crazy.
And I wouldn't mind Shingo winning at all, because love Shingo. I think he's amazing. But I don't know that I believe they're going to stop it here, especially with the way that the last Zack Sabre Goto match ended. I think they've got one more of those in them. I don't see them ending the title reign this soon.
Nice. Good for Goto. And he has been white hot. The crowds are still very on his side, so I get it.
Yeah, and Ask Grapsody, somebody asked our mid-year awards, and they were like, men's wrestler of the year, woman of the year so far, match of the year, and event of the year. And I said, man, if you really hold my feet to the fire, I might say Goto is men's wrestler of the year. Because without, like, I'm trying to think of anybody else. Like, I probably can think of somebody else that's having better matches, but so far as having a better year, it feels like it's Goto's year so far.
I mean, to take what he got and turn it into this, yeah, I think for as far as like he's carrying a prestigious championship and what he's doing, yeah, it's hard to beat, honestly.
Yeah, I think right now, out of all of the companies I watch, I think he's the best world champion. We're probably going to change that. If Hangman wins at All In, Hangman will be in the discussion as well. But as of now, I think it's Goto.
Yeah, by the end of the year, Hangman's resume is gonna look insane. But right now, yeah, if Goto's in main events, selling out shows, the shit's hot. Like he doing something different over there.
Yeah,
well deserved too.
Yeah, Woman of the Year, I said Mercedes.
Easy one.
I think Match of the Year, I said Ospreay, Hangman, Double or Nothing, and then Show of the Year, Double or Nothing.
Yep. I'm like, it's an Ospreay match, if not, but yeah, it's probably that. Like, as far as shock value and what the match represented, that probably is my favorite match up to now. Yeah, Hangman and Ospreay, that shit was insane. And then it comes down to the finish of Double or Nothing probably beats out Revolution. I feel like if Revolution had a better finish, I probably would have put that over, but I think Double or Nothing gets it with how Hangman coming out on top was like a shocking moment.
Yeah. I think all around it's just a great show.
Yeah. It's been putting out some heater show. I'm like comparing great shows to great shows. That's what you would want to do, right?
Yeah. And if I wouldn't go with the main event of Double or Nothing, I said it's probably Gabe versus Omega in the Dome. Also up there for Match of the Year.
That was dope. I like the Ospreay and Kyle cage match from Revolution. That shit was being there in person was nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few I can think of. I'm trying to think of other big matches. I thought Zack Sabre Ricochet was also really good.
That was tight. That was really good. Ricochet's had a couple of them this year, actually. His fucking Mark Briscoe match, that stretcher match or ambulance match was a lot better than I would. I mean, I love both those guys, but like even better than I could have expected,
Yeah. I think we'd be having a different conversation if Zach held the belt a little bit longer. I would be sitting here saying Zach is Men's Wrestler of the Year. You still can make a strong argument for him, but I think just because the G1 win happened last year, that's the only thing that kind of cuts it off for me.
Right. But remember that fucking Zack Sabre and Gresham match from Bloodsport? I'm like, no, this guy is a different human being, you guys.
No, we saw him wrestle a few times in Vegas, and he was cooking in all the matches.
He's amazing. Go. Or Tony and Mariah is also up there too, because that shit was pretty fire match. Being in person, the vibes, like the feeling in the air was where we were watching something epic. You know what I mean? Two bloody ass women just going at that overhead shot of both them in the mat. Like that was fucking art.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
yeah,
she made some art over here, but she's making art other places now.
Yeah, Mariah May did make her debut on NXT this Tuesday. Very surprised that she made the debut this fast. I mean,
super surprised.
Once we got the report that she was done with AEW, she was no longer on the roster page. We all knew she was heading that way, but it happened pretty quick. I caught some animosity from people because they thought that I thought that I was upset about her going over there, which why would I care?
What was the word they were mad at you for using? Whelp? Was it whelp? Whelp has a negative connotation, Phil. I don't know if you've heard that before.
Yeah, because I said, "Well, we're here now," and all I meant by that was, "Oh man, that happened fast."
Yes.
Like that was all I meant. Like the other stuff.
Like, well, we're here now because we had just heard about her leaving AEW like 1 day ago. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, and people were like, "Man, why y'all being negative? Why she can't follow her dreams?" Which me, I'm like, she can't follow her dreams. Okay, guys, that's what you think.
I was like happy for her because I knew that was her dream, and people were saying copium in my damn comments. I'm like, what am I coping with? I'm like,
This is what's funny about Twitter at the moment, and this is why I still, while I've started posting a little bit more and more there than I was earlier this year. This is why I still don't post most of my opinions there, because I don't care what you say. They are just looking for certain people to go, oh, I know this guy's an AEW fan. I'm going to get him to argue with me. No, you're not. I don't want to argue with you. I don't care. Leave me alone.
You think I want to argue with you about Mariah May debuting on NXT, dude? Get out
and they'll keep trying. They'll keep like, hey, look, you're really mad about this. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Good for her.
Now, when I saw that, somebody said that has a negative connotation. I was like, what? What? How did we? What's happening here? I don't understand. I didn't get it. I'm like, wait, Phil wasn't even saying what you guys are saying, though, guys.
I didn't say it. The funny thing is, I didn't really say anything about my opinion of it. I just made some jokes.
Yeah,
that's it.
Because here he goes with this shit again. I'm like, what shit?
I mostly think things are funny. I thought it was funny. I think a few things are funny. But I don't know. She made her debut. It was very similar to Ricky Stark's debut, where she came out and she cut the promo, but she didn't say her name. She said, Glamour has finally arrived in NXT. And when she said that, I was like, oh, they're probably changing the name. Damn. And we got the report this week that's going to be a lock, because WWE wants to trademark the name. And that's usually the way they do things. She also signed with Paradigm as well. So, yeah, it makes sense. And, I don't even think there's a terrible move to change the name. I wouldn't, but I also know that that's not what they do over there. They don't want you to come in unless you're certain people. Like if you're a Cody or you're certain people, you can come in with everything. They don't let everybody come in with all their stuff.
The most curious case in this is Jade, because like Jade got the same everything and they sent her right to the main roster. Like, what's the difference with that?
Timing.
I
think it's timing. I think when Jade came over, it was really just Cody. So they had just started the AEW to WWE pipeline, and they were really trying to roll out that red carpet. And so it's a little bit different. And then I think, I think also Jade passes all these eye tests where, regardless of whether she's going to go over there and light up or not, like they went right to it. They put her on ESPN. They put her on the big outlets. They did all of the dog and pony stuff around Jade that they haven't done with some of the other AEW wrestlers coming over. And I think that's because of the timing of it.
Yeah, and it's just different what those wrestlers represent in WWE now.
Yeah, and just the way Jade left as well. She had that long winning streak, and the way that they booked her, I think that was part of it as well. But yeah, I saw people that were saying they were upset that she went to NXT. I see it. I see the vision. If you guys do not, I see it. They have been attempting to replicate the Trish Stratus move from influencer, bodybuilder to wrestler for decades now. They've been trying to do this for a long time, to get the eye candy wrestler over there that can work and cut promos. They've been trying to do this for a long time. When they went and tried to make Mandy the face of NXT, this is what they were looking for.
That's what I was going to say.
This is it. This putting her down there, they've been trying to do this. That doesn't shock me at all. And once they started moving pieces around and started moving wrestlers to SmackDown and moving some of the people that are already ready to go, I knew exactly what it was.
That's what I've been feeling about this whole thing. Like the thing that does separate Mariah, because you're exactly right. They've been looking for essentially the next Trish Stratus, is Mariah works better than everybody though. Like even Trish Stratus, like it beyond it, like she's the eye candy plus when the fucking bell rings, she can fucking work. So it's gonna be totally different what she represents. But yeah, exactly. Like I immediately thought about Mandy and I was like, oh, this is like having Mandy, but that can with the extra that can do all the stuff. So they're definitely gonna let her go down there and run NXT for a minute. I'm not surprised about that part.
And unlike Mandy, she's been telling you all along, I want to be here.
Yep.
Like if you follow all of this stuff up to this point, I mean, her coming out and saying, I'm finally here, and then posting a picture of her tryout and all the stuff. This is everything they wanted. They want somebody that can represent this for them, not just chasing the Trish Stratus thing, but also this way of getting here, this idea of, okay, well, the tryout didn't work out. Let me find another way. Let me make myself undeniable so that I can get in over there. That's what they want. They love that story.
And it's out loud too. We all know it already. Like we already then laid the damn foundation for what her whole WWE career is.
Yeah. I've seen people say, well, what about the money and what about this? I don't think any of that matters when this is where she always wanted to be. And I think she's pretty much made that clear that this is where she wanted to be. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with working hard to get there. Even, people are going to have their opinions of, her work in AEW and the amount of money that she could have gotten. That's neither here nor there for me. If this is what she wants to do and she's happy doing it, great. Good for her. More power for her that she got what she wanted.
And that's what I liked about the whole thing and why none of this is surprising, because she's been pretty out loud about it. She's vocal about it. Like this isn't like, oh my God, I can't believe she's wanted to go to WWE. No, she's always talked about wanting to be a WWE, used to be an influence for them. Like there's people are posting photos of them this week with her at WWE shows or old WWE stuff for her. Like this was always kind of the thing. And like, there's no fumbles. I don't think anybody used anybody. Like, I just think like this was like an inevitable game in her case specifically.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the truth of the matter, and some people aren't going to like that part of it, is that it's going to be hard to compete with a company that has been around for most of our entire lives. Like if you're in your 20s and 30s, WWE has been around your entire life. To you, that is wrestling. That is the biggest stage. When you say you dream about being a wrestler, it means I dream about wrestling there. And for a lot of people, that's just what it is. AEW hasn't been around long enough for people to have the same feelings about AEW. And even if they did, just because of the way this is, WWE is the industry leader. They are the biggest thing in town. So some people, that's always going to be the end goal for them.
And we talked about
what it is.
We talked about this big show, Okada and Omega, but no matter what happens, there is no WrestleMania in AEW. Like they could sell any big show they want. They could do anything that they want. There's people that have lived their lives wanting to be on that specific big stage, and you can't replicate that anywhere else.
Yeah, I'm sure some people are going to hear this and go, but they have All In. We're talking about 40 years in of building this as the biggest show in wrestling.
Yeah.
And
40 plus years.
Yeah. So some people are going to be like, well, just make that somewhere else. It's different like when, like I said, this is all you've seen and you've been a fan your entire life and you've watched what this means. I want to be over there. I want to be on that stage.
And just a big show isn't the same as WrestleMania. Like even like a big, like you could have a 50,000 people and it's a wrestling show, but it's not WrestleMania. It's just how it is. And people's brains are wired to that. Some people are like Mariah's whole thing in AEW that whole time could have been, this is to get to WWE. I'm doing everything here to build that brand. And that's just the way it works for some people. I mean, you know how many women's wrestlers specifically, Phil, we hear that say Sasha and Bailey are what inspired them. They got here from these specific matches. Like these are all things that are connected to WWE because they have the time.
Right. That's what I thought was kind of funny about people saying, oh, you're going down there to work in a warehouse. I'm like, But when you're a fan like she was, she followed this when NXT became part of the pipeline. I mean,
Yep.
Littlefoot and Alex have that picture of all of them at a takeover. Part of this is wanting. I'm sure part of this is her wanting to go through the rigmarole of going through NXT and going to the main roster. I'm sure she's fine with all of that because that's what she was watching.
I didn't even factor in that part. Like people are complaining, like she might have wanted to take that whole journey so she could say she did it like Mercedes, she did it like Charlotte,
Exactly,
she did it like Bailey.
Because to some people, they're looking at it as a rite of passage thing,
right?
And so she probably wanted to do that. And even if she didn't,
I never thought about that. That is actually a thing, though.
Yeah. And even if she didn't, she probably looking like this is where I wanted to be, regardless of how I got there. I'm here.
Like she's like, I don't care where you guys essentially place me. I've always wanted to be here, and I know I'm gonna be to where I want to eventually. It doesn't like the journey's gonna be the same, you know.
Bro, you can't tell her nothing at this point. If you're like, hey,
exactly,
try out and you didn't make it. Okay, well, I went over to your biggest competition, was in the biggest storyline featuring women in that place. Already had a world title run, already had a big moment at their biggest show of the year. Everything is up from here. I know I'm going to move on from NXT because I moved on from just being an indie wrestler.
Right. And that's like it's kind of commendable as like drive for a wrestler, like kind of to continue to bet on yourself. Because going to WWE in her situation, she was betting on herself. If she's taking a pay cut, like they're reporting, if she's taking a lesser position, quote unquote, like they're saying in NXT, this is her betting on herself, thinking she's going to, like I was saying last week, like this is a big pond of like some heavy hitters, some people doing all these things. It's a lot of wrestlers over there. It's harder to stand out, but she's betting on herself, knowing that she's gonna go down there and cook, because she's gonna go down there and cook.
Yeah, definitely, and she's being put in a position to cook. So,
right.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think it's like Ricky. I think Ricky went to NXT at a inopportune time for him because the men's division isn't what the women's division is down there. It's not as many people for him to work. Even taking Jordan and Stephanie off the brand, you still got Sol Ruka, you still have Kalani, you still have so many other wrestlers they're bringing in. You have a deep women's roster down there for her to work. It's not the same.
What's her name? I need to get her name. Like, there's some talented people down there that she's still gonna
have. Ruka down there. You've got women down there for her to work. So it's just different, and she's gonna be fine. I think she's gonna do very well over there. I don't know what the name change will be. Hopefully, it's not as bad as JC Mateo, but I think that she's smart enough that she's gonna go in there and with a plan of how she's
been thinking about this, Phil. Like this ain't she wasn't like, oh, I have to change my name. Like she's already thought all of this out. I'm sure she probably already has the name. Yeah, should maybe still be Mariah though. I
would think so because her name was Mariah on the Indies, and I would think so. But
you never know these days.
But yeah, good for her.
Yeah.
Well, you guys were empty, and well, not you guys as in our listeners, but some people online were emptying the clip with some of these talking points. I don't need to see them again. It's cool.
You know what I never need to see again, Phil? That Tony clip of her saying the mediocrity thing that I've already seen 5,000. Like we get it. I get it.
Oh, we're doing it. Like it's great. Like I think the first person that thought about that, and I was like, oh, that is dope. That is funny. But funny. Now when
now I see it and I'm like, okay, it's not funny.
Now you've posted it over and over. I don't need to keep seeing it, or people that keep saying, oh, well, look, she's fumbled. It's like, guys, retire the word fumble for a while. It's okay. Stop using that word for a while. She was not fumbled. She was brought in. She had a very good run for her first year. Was made world champion within her first year. They don't do that just for anybody. They didn't even do that for Kenny Omega. Like Kenny Omega world champion in his first year. They didn't make Britt Baker world champion in her first year. They didn't make Mercedes champion in her first year. Like she had a very good run. She was not fumbled.
Todd, if this is what fumbled is, there's a bunch of wrestlers that would like to be fumbled. This is probably the opposite of fumble. She had people are saying she had the hottest story in history of their company. Doc. I don't think that's not really how this thing works.
Yeah,
it's different.
Yeah,
she did it. There ain't no fumbled over here, man. Like, this is a mutual thing. They knew what time was. She out. It's cool. It's chill. And the one thing I hope the fans don't do that they've been doing with Ricky and fucking Ethan, don't chant Tony fumbled while she's in a fucking match, you dumb idiots.
They've already started doing that. They've already started chanting that when she got there. But I mean, I just don't think it matters. Why are you guys? She's
here.
She's where she wants to be. It doesn't matter. She had a good run over there. She had a complete story. Came in a part of a storyline. Ended the story on a good note. Had a big match. She's fine.
All right.
Also, I don't need to see she followed her dream over and over, guys. She's where she wants to be. We get it. I'm happy for her. I think it's great, but the whole, oh man, now you can't follow your dreams, man. The way that fans will go from one thing to the other is so fucking funny to me, because before, when Okada was leaving, it was like, well, if he wants to get the most money, he had to come here, until somebody else offered him the most money, and then it was like, oh, he's overpaid. Well, wait a minute. I thought you wanted him to leave and get the most money. And then it was like, oh, well, now it's like, when somebody else can offer more money, it's the dream is over here. But wait a minute. Did Mercedes tell y'all her dream was to wrestle in a dome and an arena in Mexico? But aren't y'all telling her that what she's doing is a downgrade? It's like, maybe y'all can all just shut the fuck up. It's cool. I don't know. It's just like, just let these wrestlers do what's best for them and move on. Like, cut it out.
That's it. The goalpost moving that continuously happens. And I've seen a lot of that too. Oh, now she can't follow her dream. I'm like, that's not what the fuck this was. You guys shut up. Leave us alone. I've just lived my whole wrestling fandom hearing Kevin Nash say Sting money and money, and money's the most important thing.
Now money don't matter.
Now money don't matter. And it's like, it's a shock. I don't know. Every time I've ever heard people talk about this, they'd be like, fuck Shawn Michaels, fuck Bret Hart. How much money did they make? They don't care about work rate. They don't care about nothing. Like, what were the houses like? That's what I always hear. But now it's about the dream. And like, I'm with it because I love pro wrestling. But like, let's not act like these things are these things, you know?
No. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. What you think that they should be doing with their money or their time does not matter. It's their decision to make. If that's where she wants to be, that's where she always wanted to be. Great. She's doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just wish people would cut it out. Everything has to be. I have to argue on the side of why this company is best for this person. You don't work there.
You do not work there.
It don't matter, bro. It doesn't matter.
Listen to our amenities. I'm like, they're not your amenities, dog. Why are you?
It don't fucking matter, bro. Oh man, she went from wrestling at All In to now she's in this warehouse. Okay, that's what she want to do. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
You're probably still getting a fat ass check. So who does it like? What are we even doing over here?
He's still making more money than most people.
It's a fact. To again live her dream. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But yeah, good luck for her. I think she's going to kill it. She's going to be on the main roster in not a long time. It'll be fine.
Yeah. I just wish people would stop trying to devise ways to argue. It just looks exhausting. It does.
See? Long-term storytelling. I told you, like, shut up. All right. Everybody got to get their in.
Yeah, it's wild that y'all are mad that she followed her dream. Y'all ain't never had a dream before? What are we doing, dog?
You never lived out your dreams? No, this is why, because you ain't never lived out your dream. Like, all right, man.
Y'all ain't never had a dream, and that dream came true. Shut. Like, I feel you. I heard the Sob album too. Leave me alone.
Shout out to that. That's hilarious. A deep cut. Let's get into a few super chats before we get into truths and get up out of here. The homie Busby says, still wild how Triple H is setting up NXT to fail going up against All In.
I don't think he thinks that. I don't think he thinks that, Busby. I think even if NXT doesn't do well that weekend, he thinks he's looking at it like, well, I'm putting something here to change the ROI. Hey, man, talk about this. Oh, All In this weekend, but wait a minute. What about Evolution? What about Great American Bash? I think it's just put more wrestling that weekend from something it has a bigger,
so they don't dominate the cycles.
Yeah, that has a bigger name recognition among casual fans, so that they don't dominate the news cycle.
Yep. And it
doesn't matter whether the show does well or not.
No, they don't have to like outdraw them, beat them in ratings or nothing. No, they've already what WWE want to happen is already happening.
Yeah, that's on sugar on top. If it does well, viewership wise, and they can come out and tout the gates and everything, that's just the sugar on top. They just also want to put some more wrestling that weekend. So, hey, talk about this. Hey, podcast guys, I know you want to talk about that show, but wait, what about this? Spend 4 hours on your show.
Like Phil and I have to come on this weekend and talk about all 4 shows and not just All In, you know?
Yeah, that's what this is for.
That's exactly what they wanted.
Yeah, and the perception, everything, they don't give a fuck about that. And if they ever cared about that.
And it's even day by day, it's getting even more. They don't give a fuck. When WrestleMania weekend, Phil, I was like, oh yeah, they don't care about nothing. When all that Roman stuff started coming out, all that stuff coming out, I was like, all right, I know where we are now. They don't give a fuck about any of this.
We making money. They don't care about that.
Yeah. If you're gonna keep giving me money, I'm gonna keep feeding you shit.
Yeah.
Fans be like, shit's not that bad though. Like when you put some sauce on top of it, I'm like, wait, no, I don't. Well, hold on.
Listen, man, you ain't never
had be making me sad sometimes. So I'm like, don't eat that.
Listen, man, you ain't never had a dream. You gotta let people follow their dreams, Reg. You gotta let people follow their dreams.
Telling somebody you ain't never had a dream is so funny. You ain't never had a dream?
Bro, I've seen a lot of that. That's why I'm like, bro, y'all don't have to do this. Y'all don't have to argue about everything. Man, never mind.
Bust me. We appreciate you.
Okay, got a little close to the sun. I was like, wait a minute.
I mean, you find up there.
Sometimes I have to think about, wait.
It's not just you up there talking into the void. Like, somebody gonna hear this. That's what you have to remember.
I'm reminded that several times that people watch these things, and yeah.
It's funny how like that's not in our brain. Like a lot of the times when I'm talking, I don't realize like there's people like watching us. I'm just like, I'm talking with my friend. I don't know.
Nah, dog. You're talking with your friend, and then you find out something you said is in a group chat, or it's in front of somebody you didn't think it was in front of, and I
didn't even think that was a bad one. And they're like, actually, everybody's pissed.
it ain't even that. It'll be in front of somebody, and it's used as bits and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I know that. That's cool.
We got it like that, Phil? Because we're bits a lot. They stay with a Reg and Phil a little tweet in their group chat or some shit. Look at this guy.
friend of the show, Vin Forte, was like, you have to properly go on this victory lap as the beat writer for Seth Rollins. I was like, oh no, I've already won. You don't understand. I was like, I've already won. And he was like, what do you, and I explained something to him. He was like, I didn't know that. I was like, I already won. It's over.
Been over.
Now, I've had victories on that front that it's just like, yeah, it doesn't matter. The rest of this is just funny to me now.
When people are still trying to go like Survivor Series talk, I'm like, we didn't already dunked in 360 that though. It's over. It's way over.
No, it's over, dog. I've been one that. I've been one that. That ticker tape parade has already been played out. That's over.
Saying, dog, we didn't already pop the champagne and everything. It's a wrap.
I saw my guy capping on Wake Up and Up and Adam, and she was like, yeah, I would never team up with CM Punk, even if it meant getting the Chicago Bears their first championship. I was like, you sir are a liar. We have not had a championship in this city in 40 years. 40 years. You're telling me that all you got to do is stand next to this guy that you don't like momentarily and maybe act like you like him for a little bit to get us a championship? I don't believe you, Seth Rollins. You are a liar. You are lying to us.
Feels like I'm with you for a lot of this, but you're not trying to get us a championship? No, I can't hear you.
I don't believe you. I think that guy would do anything possible to get a Bears championship in the city.
The way that I be seeing him during them games and acting and all on TV, I'm pretty sure you would stand next to CM Punk for one match, brother.
Listen, I've seen your pain when they lose. I've experienced this pain for my entire life. I don't believe you.
Yeah. There's a couple sacrifices the homie might make, and CM Punk as a partner would be one of them.
Yeah, no. Other stuff around is fun. There've just been too many funny occurrences that have happened with that. I've just been like, oh yeah, Mania though. That was it. That was the full circle thing for me. I was like, this is it. When he did Up and At Him, and he was like, yeah, I've been right all along. I was like, I tried to tell you, friend. I tried to tell everybody you were right all along. They wouldn't listen to me.
He did. Bro was on Bleacher Report, all the places telling y'all what Rollins was doing. Nobody was trying to hear you, Phil.
Wouldn't listen.
Nobody was trying to hear you.
It wouldn't listen. Y'all had to wait until he got his logo on his choker chain and everything. He got Paul Heyman standing next to him.
You gotta get out style first.
Now y'all see the vision. See?
But it does also play into like heel Rollins is just way better. Like heel Rollins is so much better. Babyface Rollins is nice, but heel Rollins is where the real shit is at, you know? That's it. That's all. You gotta stay heel forever. Babyfaces it's a hard job, man. So rare. Appreciate you, Busby. Ben Sifner says Mariah probably wants a name change. She knows that is the WWE way. I'm not insulting her. I just can't relate to a company or person worship. I can't even as a child. I couldn't even as a child.
Yeah, I get it. But I don't really see it as company worship, to shoot her a little bail. I think we're looking at it from the outside, looking in as that way. Yeah. But it's kind of like if you're a basketball player and you're like, I want to be a basketball player. I want to play for the NBA. It's not that I necessarily worship the association. This is the biggest stage in my mind to play basketball on. Facts. And so, I mean, it doesn't matter if we as fans are like, but go to Japan and go here. That's not how she's seeing it, or how some of these other wrestlers are seeing it. They're like, I want a WrestleMania match.
It's kind of like what we're talking about earlier with hip hop and Def Jam. There are people like, I like record labels, but I want to be on Def Jam because that shit is what I know. That's an institution.
Bro, yeah. I mean, and that's across the board. I think that happens in so many things.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, all the big major ones, NBA, NFL, MLB, like all those things are, I could play baseball in Japan. I could play football in Canada. I could play basketball in Italy, but none of those are the real things.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think for some people, you know, this is what I've always wanted to do. I mean, I know some people that are like, I want to make video games. And, you know, Midway was the thing in this city at one point. Mortal Kombat was the thing. And people were like, I want to make video games and I want to work at Midway. I don't think it's necessarily like, you know, worshiping a company. It's just like, I want to do this thing for this big company that was big when I grew up liking this.
Mm-hmm. Childhood, man. We really do connect to that. I mean, until I was like a certain age, WWE was everything to me, you know? I get it.
Yeah. So, man, look, I get it. I do, whether I agree with it or not, that's neither here nor there, because for one, I'm not a wrestler. And then B, it's just like, I can't tell people what to do. Like, I would like for certain people to be over here. Like, man, I would love it if AJ left and went and wrestled somewhere else. But that's what he want to do.
If AJ was like, I'm out, I'm going to AEW, I'd be crying on this podcast. It'd be amazing. But I don't think that's going to happen. And I'm not mad at him because he's going to stay in WWE for the rest of his career. Like, well, why would I do that? I've already seen AJ. All the people I want to see him against, I could pull up the indie matches from 15 years ago. It's fine.
No. I want an AJ Swerve match.
Oh, bad. Like this Ospreay and AJ, wrong. Ospreay against essentially his fucking dad, Doppelganger ring guy? Come on.
Yeah. Finn Balor's another one. Get out of there, man. Go over there and wrestle with the other guys that have been using the thing that you created to start something. Like,
I think Finn would be exactly how we're talking about Ricochet. People be like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. He's amazing." Yeah, he is.
Finn is big on the list of I think people got him fucked up, and people been had him fucked up for a while.
Yeah. I think for a lot of his WWE run, just because of the way he's booked, I'm like, you guys don't know who the fuck this guy is, though.
Yeah.
Like, innovated some shit. Some people are still in his shit that he don't even get to use it. I love how wrestling works like that. It's funny seeing the Motor City Machine Guns in WWE because so many people still Alex Shelley spots, and I'm like, you guys, they're all still doing. I'm like, it's so fun. He just watching match like that. I made that up. I did that. Wrestling is just so funny like that these days.
Yep.
Like Petey Williams is backstage seeing 100 Canadian destroyers. It's great. It's amazing. I appreciate that, Ben. Ben also says, I can't make fun of Mariah because Denise would probably go homeless to work for Taylor Swift. I think she's gone on record to say that. Like, she's like, if I could work with Taylor Swift, I'd stop doing wrestling. So that's just kind of how things work, you know?
Everybody has things like that. Like, you know, if certain other things worked out for them, they'd stop doing what they were doing. Even if they were making a lot of money doing it.
Because of what you have in your brain, as a kid, Mariah was like, I want to be a WWE superstar, WWE superstar, WWE superstar. Because things that the landscape has changed in the 6 years, that doesn't mean it's changed for the people that have wanted this their entire lives.
Yeah.
Ben also finally says, just for the record, I don't think they're going to turn over the ball with Mariah.
No, I think she'll be fine.
Yeah. I see her doing very well, actually, in NXT at least. I don't know. Main roster we'll talk about it when we get there.
It's stacked. The main roster is so crowded, man.
A lot of people up there.
I think that's the other part of the reason why I think she'll be fine on NXT, because it gives her more of a chance to stand out.
Because the 3 that they added from NXT in the last 2 weeks, it's fucking packed up there, brother.
When they did that big tag match last night and all of the entrants, I was like, man, stacked black roster up there, bro.
Yeah, it's a lot of them, and they got some, like you were saying, in NXT. Mariah's still gonna have a good time because they got some up and comers coming up. They got some people in fucking Evolve and LFG. Like, it's crazy out here.
Yeah, and they're gonna bring in more wrestlers. They're not gonna stop signing people,
and people are not gonna stop leaving AEW to go to WWE.
No, it's gonna keep happening.
Yep.
I think it's unfortunate. I don't think they're in that place quite yet where Impact is for some people, where it feels like a stepping stone. But yeah, once they open that pipeline of, hey, come on over here, the water's fine, you're going to see more people doing it.
I mean, it's also going to coincide. The reason I don't think AEW is going to get the TNA status and it's going to continue to be well for them is because you're seeing, on the contrary, a lot of people that work for WWE were in that system of being like, there are other things in the world. Like, there are some people that were just like, WWE is the whole thing, that don't think like that anymore. That are like, I could go to Japan to do this, or I could go to AEW. So there are some people that are also turning the leaf. So I think everything's gonna be fine. TK is going to continue to kind of do this to people, and turnovers and things are going to happen. It's going to be interesting the next couple of years moving forward.
Yeah. That's fine. People will go back over there and leave and go somewhere else. It's going to keep going. It's wrestling.
Yep.
It's fine.
Speaking of, shout out to the homie Kevin Owens. He was saying that things are looking kind of crazy out post this surgery. I hope he's all fine. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I hope he's doing good.
Yeah, for sure.
Go. We have one more super chat. Arduit says, happy Grapsody, y'all. Here's hoping that this year's All In is the show that inspires the next gen of wrestlers, knowing there's more than the Fed. It's a great point to make, Arduit. I think that AEW, with its, still being so young, they're going to continue to have moments and things that inspire wrestlers. Like, there's going to be wrestlers now, full circle for Mariah, that are like, I got into wrestling because of Tony and Mariah. You know what I mean? Like, that's going to be, it's a circle of life. Like, that she was inspired by somebody, now somebody's inspired by her. It's going to continue to work that way.
Yeah, that's why I said you can't compete with something that's been around that long. And time is always going to be one of the things. I mean, that's why you heard stories of guys like Gresham or Lee Moriarty that were saying they dreamed of wrestling for Ring of Honor, because that was a thing once they came along. And that's why I'm like, the longer AEW is around, the more people will aspire to be there.
Exactly. I appreciate that, dude. That's our supers.
See, we've got some more Humper chats. We got one from Tony P. He says, as for the true saga and news of what is happening with Cross, WWE may lose some lifers or people they may have wanted to keep, and I will not be shocked. Don't be surprised if people AEW never had a shot with before this goes over there and goes on to the Indies. Yeah, it's very funny right now seeing people acting like they may be fumbling Karrion Kross. Where Karrion Kross was when he first came back, and people were like, "Oh, this guy," and some people were not excited about it at all. And now, like, people are like, "What are y'all doing? Put Karrion Kross on TV. He's got something going." Wrestling is so funny, man. That's why it's always easy to turn things around, man. Like, regardless of regardless of what it is, it's not too late to turn it around. I mean, bro, Billy Gunn a year or two ago was back over again because of the scissor me thing. It's never too late to turn things around.
Wrestling is so weird. You immediately made me think about when Karrion Kross did the thing with Jeff Hardy, and people were like, "Get this guy the fuck out of here!" Like, people were like, they did not want this guy.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't want him to be on TV at all. Now people were mad that they were saying he should have placed Grande Americano in the match this week. They're like, Kross is getting the raw end of the deal, and I'm like, what happened? Like, how did this whole thing switch? I know he did a couple of promos online and inspired people, but
wrestling. Just like we were talking about the Cena thing. Turn Cena heel. This heel turn, man. It's not
maybe not
really hidden. Or there's so many examples of that. Bring this guy back over here. Then they get back over there. Does he have to be on TV? It's so many, man. I'm telling you, it's so many of those. Bring this person back home. And then when they get back over there, oh, well, you know how it goes. We don't have room for everybody on TV.
Everybody can't be on. You can't have I saw somebody say that this week. Oh, because somebody was like, they're mad about Jeff Cobb. And they're like, why they're booking him like that? Well, that's how he's supposed to be booked. Somebody said.
Is it?
That's what I'm like, is it? That's how he's supposed to be booked? Okay. Yeah, no, people are, I don't know, man.
Yeah, these things change, Life comes at you fast.
It comes at you hella fast.
Yeah, R-Truth, that was a big news thing as well that came out this week. I could not believe it. I
don't know.
Just for two reasons. It's R-Truth, and I just assumed R-Truth was gonna retire there because he's been there for so long. He's been there for close to 20 years. And then also he was just in a main storyline with John Cena, and like before the week is up,
like days ago,
before the week is up, they're saying that they're not going to renew his contract. That's crazy.
And the way like, we understand it's a business, it's been happening for a long time, but the way that it seems like it still happens, like, it's this caught R-Truth off guard. Like, he's on Twitter being like, "Oh, I didn't know, guys." Like, it shouldn't be like this. Like, I understand you're not going to renew contracts. Things are happening. We live a different business these days. But for like people that we expected to have a better deal, just kind of crazy. Like, I know how the business works, but I'm still on your side too of being like, I thought R-Truth was going to be here for fucking till he retired at least.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that news came out this week, and he initially tweeted about it. And people were like, "God, this is a joke. He's working." And when I first saw the tone of it, I was like, I don't think this is a joke, guys. I think that he's serious. And I believe Sean was one of the first people that confirmed with him that he was not going to return, that they were not renewing his contract. There was some confusion about whether he was released at one point, but the confirmation is that his contract is just expiring. They're not going to renew it. That strikes me as part of the rest of the changing of the guard here. It just really feels like this is the new status quo with TKO. This is what this company is. I keep saying it feels more corporate than ever, and this feels like a corporate. We got all of these people on a spreadsheet. We are We are trimming the fat. We see this guy has been here for over a decade. How much does he how many times did he wrestle a year? How much is he making? Why is he still here? It doesn't matter what you feel about him. It doesn't matter what certain people back there feel about him, the wrestlers, the fans. We all love truth. But somewhere somebody is looking at this as just, oh, we're cutting costs.
There's a guy back there with a red pencil and a piece of paper, and always he sees his names. He don't know that R-Truth was fucking the first NWA TNA champion. He don't know that, Roman Reigns fucking is the reason for the season. He sees a name and a number, and if that number is high as fuck, he's like, what can we do to get this number to not be that high? Now, Phil, I've seen some conspiracy theories this week coming out for these things, because we've seen a couple people be released, and immediately they're like, TNA's super interested in this. And we're like, okay, they're in a partnership with this, though. So somebody was like, oh, there's a conspiracy. WWE's releasing these wrestlers, letting them go to TNA, and then using them for way less money. And I'm like, it doesn't sound that far off, though.
It doesn't. But see, I don't think that, in order for me to think that this is that nefarious, I would think that this is anything more than them cutting costs. Yeah. I think that they looked at it like, we don't want to renew this guy's contract because why are we paying this guy that Vince liked? Because that's the underlying thing here. We heard the story for a long time that Vince really liked R-Truth, that he thought he was hilarious. And I think it was one of those things where Vince kept him on because Vince liked him. Vince found him entertaining. And I think once he's gone and the next regime comes in, it's like, well, wait a minute. Why are we still paying this guy? What does he do here?
And it's kind of like how business works too, Phil. You know, if a new company comes in and they see all the old contracts and then they're paying, we've hired on a bunch of people for way less than this. Why are we paying these people that are been here for a long time when I could have 5 people for the price of one R-Truth?
It happens all the time in mergers, guys. It doesn't matter if somebody is like very well liked in the company and, you know, they've been working there for 20 years or whatever. When the next person comes in and they're looking like, all right, what exactly is this person's job? What are they making? Can we justify continuing to pay them that? That's always the big question. If I can't justify in my mind continuing to pay this person what they're making, they have to go. And I think that's what happened here. I think that this is more of, like I said, corporate. This is impersonal, cold corporate stuff.
Kind of what we were expecting to have. I knew when they started talking to TKO, we talked about it on the pod, how it was like, there's going to be some corporate people with suits that don't care about the fucking WWE, don't care about these stories. They care about the bottom line. And if you're over their bottom line, then they're going to eliminate it.
Yeah. It's just like, when Cena did the interview with Van Vliet, he talked about the plan for him to turn heel. It's drastically different than what we're getting. He talked about wearing a singlet and changing his music. Bro, he probably walked in there and with similar ideas, and they were like, wait a minute.
You gonna change what?
We still trying to sell shirts. We still trying to sell hats. What do you mean you're gonna change that? No, we still trying to sell some stuff. You're not gonna come out there with that towel. We trying to sell that towel. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. You mean we can't sell shirts? You're not doing colorful thing anymore? Let's maybe think about a different route to go with this.
No, because the bottom line here is we got to still make our money on this. And we got to feel like this is still profitable to us, which is, I get it. It's a business.
There was a rumor this week that happened with Roman, that they looked at Roman's dates and his money and they were like, well, what's this? So I think it was totally believable to me just because of what's happening here. Like, well, what is he really doing in this current state? Like, if TKO is just looking at numbers, they're like, who's this guy? Oh, that's Roman Reigns. He's here 5 times a year. They're going to be like, what? You know what I mean?
But Roman's
because
different.
I've seen it on the UFC side of like Francis Ngannou. They have like some people that made the money and they're like, I don't give a fuck. Like, we're doing something different over here.
Roman's a bit different though, because you still have the opportunity to sell WrestleMania off his name.
Yeah.
You're not going to sell WrestleMania off R-Truth.
No.
And so it's a little bit different. But yeah, I think it's unfortunate. I think that this, a lot of people were saying what I thought initially, like, okay, well, if he was leaving anyway, why didn't you make it a part of the angle? Why didn't you just do a career versus title match at Saturday Night Main Event? And then when he just beats him decisively and we know he's leaving, you get heat on Truth. You get heat on Cena.
Yeah. Like this would have worked out as an angle if you guys would have pushed it fucking title versus career match or anything at Saturday Night's Main Event and actually gave some kind of proper send-off, because now off of the backs of this, Phil, both shows that have happened this week, people are chanting for Truth.
Yeah, but again, that's why I'm telling you guys, this isn't a wrestling move. This is a business move. And that's why, because if it's just like, all right, you already know you're not going to renew his contract. Let's make this angle. Let's add this to the show. Guys in suits, guys with like the spreadsheet in front of them, they're not thinking like that.
Don't care about the show.
They're not thinking about any of that. They don't think about wrestling in that way. They're thinking about it as, okay, well, we're not renewing this contract. That's it.
They're not like, we're gonna mess up plans in 3 months in this storyline. They don't care about it.
They don't care about none of that.
You guys had Truth ready for blah blah blah. They don't. Yeah, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, and that's what really confirmed for me. I think that this was what it looks like. But yeah, I think the outpouring of love from the fans is not surprising, because people love this guy. And I mean, the amount of wrestlers that were coming out and saying how much he means to them, and just the way people talk about his presence backstage and everything, I thought that was really heartwarming. But this is business, man. This is and I saw a lot more people this time, because I guess I didn't even think about it this time, because we see so many releases, and we see so many of these kind of things in wrestling. But when Sean was saying that this is like the most unanimously hated release, I was like, I guess, yeah, when you think about it, yeah. But I think that just tells you the difference in regimes.
Yeah, because it was like the opposite of Lil Wayne, of like all the timeline came together to be like, how could you? You know what I mean? Like we were all banded together, but we were all sad and a little bit different. It did feel like, I don't know, the vibes, just the way the wrestlers were tweeting too, like you could feel it. Like everybody was like,
they were shocked. They were shocked by it. You could see people were like, wait a minute, Truth.
Like if Truth, then it could be like nobody's job is safe if Truth's job isn't safe,
I think that's part of it too. I think people are looking at it like, well, wait a minute. If his job ain't safe, then my job not safe. But this different regime coming in. TKO group is different. This isn't what it was. But I mean, we've been hearing that.
It's a crazy way to think as a wrestler, Phil, thinking like, because it used to be, you come in as you come into the WWE and you're like, I'm going to try to cook. I'm going to try to develop these things. I'm going to get up to these points. Now it seems like they have goals and milestones. Like if you're not doing this by this time, then you're gone. Like it's not as much time to develop as it used to be.
Yeah. But I mean, we've seen that on multiple levels now. Man, when they were done with Gable Stevenson, they were done.
Oh, they were. Yeah. Like done.
Yeah. And I know people were like, but yeah, he had a case and all this. They didn't care about that. When they saw that this wasn't working and there was no money to be made, well, we see you later, buddy. Get this guy out of here.
Yeah, none of the release was like, we heard that he had a case. Now they were like, he couldn't do it in the ring. They don't care about that case.
No, this is a problem. You gotta go. The only time I think that like the stuff that we think ended up impacting it was Matt Riddle. I think when that airport stuff came out and they were like, okay, enough.
It was just too much.
let's move on from this.
Like they have issues with recent stuff. You know what I mean? Like if they could be like, that was weeks ago, nigga, I'm partying, they'll move forward. But if it's like, if it just happened, they're like, nah, we gotta do this.
What do you think about the people attempting to do what you'd expect, because it's the internet, and turning this into a gotcha thing again? Oh, well, you guys were complaining when he had the Cena match. Now you guys are mad because he's leaving. You guys are phony. Now you care about him because he's getting released.
Again, have you ever had a dream? Like it's the same thing. It's like, dog, that's not what this was. That's not what this is. We weren't mad the other week because Truth was there and we hate Truth, and now all of a sudden we love Truth. You know what I mean? Like he's a universally loved figure. You could see it, the outpouring from every company. Wrestling fans of all shapes and sizes were like, fucking Truth. Like there were people being like, bring him into AEW. Like this is he's just represents something way different.
Yeah, R-Truth is a legend. I think you can acknowledge that R-Truth is a legend, but also wonder what is the end goal of you doing a match with Cena in 2025. And I don't think that means that, oh, you're a fake fan or you don't really care about him. I think that that's a reasonable question. Like, okay, well, what's the end goal for this other than to do this checklist thing in his farewell tour?
And especially seeing what happened, we're really like, well, what the fuck?
It was a 4-minute match. It was less than 5 minutes, and that's why I'm like, I don't think anybody's out of line for going, okay, well, why are you doing this if there's no end goal to it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that whole thing was so weird, man. Especially like knowing now that it could have been structured a different way, it could have gave proper send off to R-Truth. It's like that was weird. I mean, I am happy that he did get to have a final big moment on TV and stuff like that. That's dope, but just kind of unfortunate how it all went down. R-Truth is a fucking legendary figure. You don't stay in a company for this long if you're not also just like a good guy and humble. And you see the way that everybody talks about him and how it came off of that he is exactly how we think he is, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think he deserves the flowers for the amount of time he managed to stay there and remain relevant. Because I mean, he's been there for
anybody can stay there, right? Anybody can stay, but staying relevant that whole time and still putting up laughs and still hitting the marks in your moments is a difficult thing to do for 20 years in a single company where a lot of the times it felt like the system was probably against him, you know?
Yeah, I think he's the closest thing in this era to like an Attitude Era guy where you had guys like, whether it be Spike Holly or like somebody random like Al Snow or somebody. I don't care how long they're off TV and they pop back on TV, they're gonna get a pop because they're this consistent character that we're just so used to. And so when we see him again, they're excited. And I think R-Truth is the closest thing we've had since the Attitude Era that every time he popped up, people were excited to see him.
Mm-hmm. With the same song, the same, like we're still like, yes, Truth, we love this shit. Keep doing it. What's up? Then we're not gonna hear what's up no more. We gotta hear what's up somewhere.
People over there, what's up? The funniest time him coming out and doing that is when Nia jumped him when he was coming out to do the Rumble.
He never got his revenge on Nia, man. Damn, he's still in that match. Crazy. But yeah, I knew when a few years ago when rest in peace, when they fired Howard Finkel, I was nothing matters in WWE anymore. Nobody's safe. When
they're done with you, they're done with you. That's always the case. But I mean,
it's going to continue to be the case, I think.
But I don't even think that's just a WWE thing. I just think that's usually how these things go. That's an entertainment business thing. When they're done with you, they're done with you. I mean, we've had our jokes, but it is kind of crazy when people are done with you, when they're ready to write your obituary and be like, you're cooked. They will get on a timeline and be like, bro, well, mine's cooked.
That's a fact. Obituaries were written all day yesterday. And like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just kind of how the game works. Even if Wayne or Truth or whoever still feel like I could go for fucking 15 more years, some people will just be like, well, we don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm curious to see where he pulls up. I know they've already said TNA has some interest. I was like, nah, we got to run back the TNA raps. We got to run back the whole thing. Get him back over there. Where's Pac-Man at?
Where's Pac-Man at? No, him and Pac-Man in 2025 would be hella funny.
Hilarious. Yeah, somebody said on Ask Grapsody, he should show up at Ashe. And I was like, just the things I think people that are like, oh, he's got to go to a big company. I want to see him like doing stuff in the culture because he's so beloved. He should be in some of these places like Ashe or like some of these smaller places where we weren't going to see him at before. Like, yeah, Fourth Rope, all of these places that we might not have seen him get a chance to take part in before. Like, that's what I want to see him do.
Like thinking of him doing fucking "What's Up" during For the Culture is like making me the happiest I've ever been. Like if we were in that moment and fucking "What's Up" came up, people would go fucking ham.
I mean, the link to TNA, and it seems like TNA and Fourth Rope have like a link. I think the idea of him going over there and doing anything would be really funny. I mean, whatever our gripes were with that show in Vegas, bro, when when Godfather came out there, that was a moment.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a moment.
Like people were going crazy. Like all the fans, like just what he represents and what he was or something different. Made me think of the 2000s. The dude was just like 2000, early 2000s with the big jerseys and the headbands.
Hey,
that guy was hilarious.
Hilarious.
Hey,
I forgot that was a thing that happened, and somebody tagged me in it and was like,
"Oh, because you're in the video."
Yeah, because I'm standing next to him because he's trying to sell me whatever Bopper's Going Wild or whatever.
Doug, Vegas was fucking crazy. That guy with this gimmick. That guy's hilarious. Yeah, get him on Grapsody. The 2000s guy. But shout out to Truth. I'm sure he saved a lot of that money because he's one of those guys. Legendary, first ballot Hall of Famer. One of the greatest of Black wrestling history. Ron Killings. Salute.
We got super chats, man.
He's gone. No more super chats.
Okay, I think we've got about a handful more humper chats, and then we are gonna get out of here.
We're not going 5 hours today.
I got places to go. I got things to do. I got time for y'all, man. I got time for you people that want us to stay on all day.
Y'all are sick on there too. The people are like, let's go 6 now. I'm like, what?
Go 6, bro. Are y'all crazy?
I gotta listen to when I talk for 6 hours, man.
And the funny thing is, when we finished this and I ended the stream, I was like, this isn't gonna go well. I don't think people are gonna be like enthused about listening to us for a whole 5 hours. And all these people are like, yeah, 5 hours. I'm like, what's wrong with y'all, man?
Everybody in the comments, I can't wait to listen to all of this. And I'm like, what?
Like, go 5 hours all the time. Like, no, I can't. You know how crazy it is to get up in the morning and do stuff that you have to do, to get on this podcast. It's still morning, and then finish it, and it's evening. No,
that's crazy.
That's nuts. No.
Yeah, I always wake because I gotta get mine is at 9, so I'll get up and like the sun won't be out. It's all gloomy and crazy, and then the podcast over. It's vibrant. People outside lighting fireworks and shit. I'm like, what? There's been a whole day worth of shit since I've been in here talking.
Yeah. See, we got a humper from Van Twinblade. He says, "Fuck the Fed for doing that to Truth. Racist Fed is racist. 2, everyone ready to watch the Fed ruin Lucha. I'm not. 3, I'm not National Havoc Robot League. Sorry, I got National Havoc Robot League on the other monitor. It's going to be better than anything WWE put on this week. Boy, you are not feeling WWE,
huh? Couldn't relate. I'm looking forward to Money in the Bank in Worlds Collide.
I know you can't wait to cut that on as soon as we get off here, man.
Cut this off so I can cut that on.
Cut the TVs on. Cut the TVs on. From Heather says, I'm finally here for a live Grapsody. I'm used to just hearing your voices while I drive to work during the week. I always come for the Wrestle Talk, but I stay for basketball and music chat. Thoughts on a daily podcast somewhere in the future. Daily, 7 days a week. That's a lot.
I'm like, I hope there's a different definition for daily, because doing 7 pods a week is insane.
I
mean, if somebody called filling out with a bag, a big outlet, and they were like, "Hey, a daily radio show,"
if there was a deal involved, that's the answer to the question. Yeah. If there was a deal, sure, absolutely,
a deal. We can definitely talk about it.
Yeah, I'm consistently surprised at how people consume our podcast. Because I was talking to somebody in the chat last week that was like, "Oh, I didn't know you guys did video."
Yeah, that's right.
Like, really?
I love it. Yeah, there's some people that just listen to our voices. I can't I'm like, man, but my facials sometimes, you guys, I'll be making some wild ones. You got to see those too.
Yeah, no, yeah, I edited a short for the YouTube channel. If you're not following the channel, by the way, youtube.com/@Grapsody. And I put a short on there, and I think even on mute, the facial expressions in it are all great because it's one from the Gabe Kidd interview, and he's talking about Bullet Club and why he thinks War Dog is the best, and so he gets through his whole spiel of like they were dressed as Aladdin, and he had this so at the end. So I do this cut where it shows Kenny and the Bucks at Corrigan Hall with the Aladdin and Jasmine, and so when it cuts back to him, you just see the facial expression. It's so funny. It's so funny
because he really that's how he really feel too. Like he really be offended. He like they was dressing up like Aladdin.
Y'all telling me that was cool? Yeah. What a funny guy, man.
Great guy. Amazing.
Yeah. We got one from D-Lo Diggs. He says, I don't know what to think of Carter 6. Halliban said he ain't the one with the game one, but still think OKC and 6 feeling better this week with all these personal death. Life is too short. Appreciate life. Appreciate the grapes, fam. Don't appreciate Nico Harrison. It's for life with this guy.
That's a fact. No matter what.
Yeah. I saw that Jason Kidd is one of the candidates in this New York replacement for Tom Thibodeau. So maybe that's Jason Kidd's way of getting out of town after he didn't like the Luka trade.
They gave my guy Tibbs a raw deal, though. I will say that.
Bro, taking that team to the conference finals and getting fired right afterwards. I don't care what y'all say about his rotations, bro. He made that team relevant again. He made them a playoff team again. Nah, he deserved better than that. He deserved better than to get fired after. Bro, they won 50 games this year.
Yeah, what?
That's crazy.
The fuck?
And I've seen so many people like he deserved it. I'm like, bro, he took that team to the conference final. They were 2 games away from going to the championship.
Like he coached as good as he could, bro. This is what you would want. You almost got him to the fucking chip.
I mean, I think he made mistakes. There's flaws, of course, but bro, he still got them to the conference finals. They haven't been to the conference finals in over 20 years.
You made them a fucking relevant team, and all the New Yorkers are fucking living their lives because of what he did.
Sheldon, I'm telling you. He said Sheldon is saying Tibbs is not who you want if you actually want to win a championship. Well, first of all, part of that Boston championship is his because he was assistant coach on that team. He wasn't head coach, but he's assistant coach. But I've seen it. Most of the teams he leaves, they're not as good when he leaves.
Yep. We've seen it with our own eyes a couple times.
I mean, Minnesota eventually got it back together, but it took Minnesota a sec to get back together. The Bulls have never recovered from firing him.
They have not.
That was our last 50-win season. They have not won 50 games again.
It's been a tough go since he's been gone. A tough go.
Bro, I'm telling you, man. That's why I'm like, I don't think that he's perfect. I think that he has flaws. I think you can make arguments about, him running guys into the ground, but that guy eats, sleeps, and breathes basketball. There's nothing else. Yeah. I remember when he was here, he was engaged for a minute. I don't know what happens to that fiance. They just stopped talking about it.
Probably because he can't stop talking about basketball.
They just stopped talking about this woman, and he was right back to in office, tape studying, and being who we know he is, a basketball sicko. That's all there is to this. Is basketball to him. You're not gonna find that guy just anywhere. That kind of guy is gonna be the guy that can change an organization around, and we've seen him do it several times. That's why I'm like, I don't know, man. You could at least give him another season. I think firing him right after going to the conference finals is wild.
Or at least they be firing coaches at all points at this point. Like bring him in for the first half, see how he gonna keep going or something. What the fuck's going on?
I would not be surprised if they hire somebody else because this is one of those make or break things. Because we've seen it. Mark Jackson turned that team around. He left. You guys get Steve Kerr. That's the thing that turns you into a championship team. New York has a chance to do that. They could bring somebody in that pushes them to that next step and makes them a championship team. Or they can hire Tim Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
If you see the pain in my eyes, I'm still very much upset that they did that. Like, you don't get rid of Phil and then bring in Tim Floyd. You don't get rid of a guy as good as Tom Thibodeau and bring in fucking Fred Hoiberg.
Yeah.
You just don't. What are we doing? Like, those aren't conducive to making your team better.
I saw people were mad. The New York organization were mad at Papa Brunson too. He was out there wilding out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And from New York's point of view, who's available? Is there a coach available that you think can take you to the next level?
Mm-hmm.
Like Mike Malone?
That's all I was gonna say. That's the only one I could think of.
But wasn't the reason Mike Malone got fired because he wouldn't play his younger guys? Isn't that what you're
trying to do?
That's what you were technically upset with this guy. So you're gonna bring somebody else in that's gonna do the same thing? If you don't have a guy in mind that's gonna take you to the championship, you don't fire a guy that took you to the conference finals.
No. So man, maybe they do have the guy. That can only be the logical explanation for this. But
if they bring in a college coach, I'm gonna immediately be like, boy, this looks familiar.
Yeah.
And if it's Jason Kidd, I think you could have kept Tom if that was the case, because Tom is
that's how I feel. If you're going from Tibbs to fucking Jason Kidd, I don't know. Man, that ain't the way to do it.
This feels like a Jerry Krause move though. So listen, I wasn't one of those guys that was in the arena booing his poor wife that night, but as somebody that was deeply hurt by the dismantling of our team, I get the hate for him. I definitely get it. I get Chicagoans hate that man.
This is kind of like a New York move, though. This feels pretty New York.
Absolutely.
Let's send all this into turmoil after what we just did.
Absolutely. And I don't know, man. I think they're gonna take a step back. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know, man. This specific thing doesn't usually go well.
No.
So I don't know.
Good luck. Momentum. Who cares about momentum, huh?
Yeah. Multiple things as a Bulls fan. When people were like, you guys were kikiing about Giddy hitting that shot and you guys are still losers, you didn't get the number one pick. That didn't bother me as much, but like certain things like watching Obi Toppin over there playing well, I wanted the Bulls to draft Obi Toppin. They didn't pick Obi Toppin. He went after we fucking picked Patrick Williams. You know who else went after Patrick Williams in that draft? Tyrese Halliburton. But we picked Patrick Williams. Great guy. Great job, guys.
I know they'd like to take some things back. Can't do it now, though. We got back into sports 3 hours in. That's crazy.
Yeah. From Wongi says, how's it going, Grapsy fellas? Big Fuji, the kid took out Best of Super Juniors 32. I thought the finals was a really good match against Yo, who was throwing all the former Chaos mates finish at him. Really happy for Vegeta took it out. Yeah, no, that was one of the better things about the match. Fujita was trying to throw all of the things that he's learned from his mentors from Chaos. He tried to do a Rainmaker at one point. Yo tried to do a Rainmaker at one point. He did the Ishii strikes in the corner where he throws the chop out and then he comes behind it with the other strike. He did that combo moves. Both of them, they were throwing out their mentor moves. That was really cool.
5.5 stars on that match. 5 stars.
You are wrong, Petro, when you say that he has a bad coaching record. Thibodeau is the only coach in this organization since Phil Jackson that is plus 500. I don't know if people know that. I knew that because I'm a Bulls fan, and we've had a miserable experience for a long time. He is the only plus 500 coach. He's the only coach that had a winning record in this organization after Phil Jackson. So.
Tibbs, man.
I don't know. Man with Beard 9, he says, you guys see the trailer for Wu-Tang Rise of the Deceiver game coming out. I didn't see the trailer, but I did see some of the graphics for it. Those look cool. Man, Wu-Tang has to be one of the they have to be one of the best promoted rap groups of all time. Not just the fact that they're Wu-Tang again, like, but just all of the things they've been attached to, TV shows, and just all of the cool things promotionally around them. Like,
maybe
there's no other.
honestly, yeah, because like nobody's brand has been protected like the Wu-Tang. Like if they're like if Wu-Tang's logo on it, you know it's gonna be some quality shit. It's crazy.
Yeah, I believe that is our last Humper Chat.
Oh, we got one more super chat though from the homie LaRon Ford, who says, showing my appreciation for you guys going 5 hours last week with a very generous super chat. Great way to end the pod. We really appreciate that, LaRon. It was super chill last week. Shout out again to the homie Graham. Got some great laughs out of that 5 hour pod. And we be going almost 5 hours every pod at this point.
It's a funny guy, man. I told him, man, I felt bad that we didn't get a chance to see him in Vegas, and I saw the one selfie he got, and I was like, dang, that guy got a selfie with Graham, and I didn't. That happened.
There's some spaces you should have been in.
See, man, yeah, I be in wrong spaces sometimes.
That's a fact because you picked a side. Steve OJ says Octagon Jr. versus Dom at Money in the Bank for IC title. Is that real?
Well, we've been on here, so I wouldn't be able to tell you, but I can see it.
I mean, they do got to make this 5 matches, Phil. It is only
still
4 so far.
Still 4 matches, though.
I mean, that's some good promotion, I guess, right?
Yeah, I've seen Dom on sneaker shopping with Liv. His shoes were very expensive. The shoes he had on were very expensive. You know, must be nice.
Nice. I saw his list too. I was like, oh, he picked out some heat too. I see you, Dom.
Yeah, he had some Travises on there that are fire and overpriced.
Definitely.
All of the shoes that on sneaker shopping are overpriced.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing it now. That is official. Dominic Mysterio versus
Octagon
for the Intercontinental Championship at Money in the Bank.
So it is 5 matches.
Yep.
Was Octagon Jr. on the show?
I think he's in the crowd.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. Interesting. It's LA too. A smart thing. Have some luchadors on the actual Money in the Bank too. So just like you're not just feeding the people at Worlds Collide, you have to feed some of the other California fans too with the real show.
Yeah. Conan coming out with Corey Graves that I just scroll past. What is life? What is life? We do have some more Humper Chats. I just refreshed. Glad I did that.
Came out with Corey Graves. Jesus.
It's still funny that Graves. Well, I'm sure he don't think it's funny.
Yes.
Graves went from like the color guy on the main show to just like down on NXT. Like it just happened. Like no fanfare or nothing. He just down on NXT.
I legit thought he was like gonna be the next guy after Cole. I was like, oh, they're setting Corey Graves up. They was like, no, we're not.
No, it's Cole and McAfee. They acting like they just been friends all these years. Like, yeah.
Cole be acting like he spent his whole WWE career next to McAfee and shit. Like, this is my best friend. I've never known a love like this. I'm like, damn, he really like him some Pat McAfee.
I never knew. I'm like this before. Don't.
Shout out to Mary J with the boots.
They turned on the Chic sample with everything.
Yeah. Oh, that's not Mary J. That's Faith. My bad, Faith Evans.
Oh,
I love that song. It's a great song.
Rafael Garcia. Looking at last night, I'm not saying Ray Phoenix is a bad brother, but I'm seeing my shoot brother, alleged friend, get jumped. I would probably help them. I'm only watching Worlds Collide for Mr. Iguala. What's the potential card for Grand Slam Mexico? I don't know. I think that they've started some of the build to that. We are definitely seeing more luchadors on AEW. So that's great.
Well, Max has already put out the challenge to Mystico. I'm excited to see what Mercedes does in there. I don't know. Yeah, I think that maybe with the guys they've established so far, we'll see like Hechicero, Templario, like those guys. I'm hoping to see Neon myself so he could do that double jump backflip, but I don't know.
We're probably gonna see Dorado.
Yep. Oh, he was fucking fire in that 4-way this week. Mother was tearing it up.
Yeah. For Lee Ronnie says, good for Mariah. She made the best decision for her. If her run in NXT goes even half as well for her as it has for Stephanie Vaquero to this point, it will be a success. Yeah, for sure.
Stephanie's cooking though. She has the potential to fucking win that briefcase tonight too.
Yeah, she's one of those ones that I knew she was gonna do well over there. She just makes a lot of sense over there.
Yeah.
From Jose Fujita, he says, where do y'all think Naito and Bushi land? Noah, All Japan, maybe they'll be an all gleek motherfuckers. All gleek, goddamn. Sorry. Sorry. Oh, I think you were doing all gleek motherfucker. All gleek, goddamn.
Jody Rome. I don't know.
I don't know, man. That's a good question. I don't think they're gonna sign somewhere. I think they're just gonna probably do like the freelancer thing for a while.
Me too.
Maybe they'll pull up to Noah in some places, but I don't see them doing like a big full-time contract somewhere.
Because they just announced a couple days ago that they can't use the name anymore. They have to come up with a new team name, and that's what should be being announced soon.
Yeah. That's all of our Humper chats. FJ Trill is saying, I've never seen Lindsey Dorado as a heel. He plays one well. Yes, you did. He had that energy for Homegirl's dad. He was playing the heel there. You seen it?
It was definitely saying the pull up like I'm about to be at this show. He was really playing the heel, man.
Yeah, you seen it. But yeah, that's all of our
little girl. I'm gonna beat your dad up. That's a pretty heel move.
Shout out to Lindsey.
I love it. Great energy.
Yeah. That's all of our Humper chats. I believe that's all of our super chats, right?
That is.
This is where we bid you adieu. Got you right before the 4-hour mark too. Ha.
Yeah.
Thought we was gonna hang around, didn't you? Ha. This has been Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsey. Righteous Reg. We're out of here.